there we go.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blades in the Dark here on Welcome to the Party. If it is your first time here seeing Welcome to the Party, let me read you a few things so that you can understand what Welcome to the Party is about. This is basically a community, I would call it, but it's also a channel and a lot of stuff. But it's dedicated to creating an inclusive and equitable gaming community where people can come and learn how to stream and play RPGs and games together and learn how to stream while playing those games, which is what we're doing right now. We have sponsors here. Welcome to the party. One of which is Devin Rue, who is an amazing artist who makes incredible fantasy maps. You can see her work at rueinc.com. She did a couple of maps for Critical Role, and her work is just awesome. There's Tabletop Loot, another sponsor who makes dice, shirts, mugs, and stuff. You can find their merchandise and their work at tabletoploot.com. And then there is So Nerdwear, their sponsor, which is our official merch sponsor. If you, they make like t-shirts and stuff too, and it has to do with like some of the shows that have been on Welcome to the Party. And if you use the code WELCOME at checkout, you can get 10% off your next purchase at sonerdwear.com. And Throck, if you're with us, can you give me that sweet, sweet, salty slogan that So Nerdwear has?
So Nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear.
Oh, I love it. The voice from above. And we have a Patreon at Welcome to the Party. So if you like what you see, maybe think about supporting the Patreon. You can, if you become a patron, you'll get interviews with players, mods, and DMs, behind the scenes looks at our games and art and notes that had to do with the games. And you will help us to underwrite amazing writers, artists, and creators from across the gaming universe. And the goal is to kind of make a showcase of all their work here on the channel. So it's on, check out Patreon for Welcome Party RPG. And if you like what you see and you like us because you think we're neat people and you like the games and you like the environment, check out the Discord for Welcome to the Party. It is full of much cooler people and a very Death by Mage like that. It's a very welcoming atmosphere. It's a very cool place with very nice people. And there's a lot on that Discord. Like I just flipped through it the other day, and there's like art and maps. I love that. I love the art and the maps. That's like my favorite thing. There's a lot of cool stuff on there, and possibly other games. If anybody's interested in playing a game, people are running games every once in a while. So yeah, check it out. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, welcome, my friends, to another episode of Blades in the Dark. I am your storyteller for this evening. I am Evan, Evan Jennings 64 at the Twitter, and I will be leading us through this madness. And together with me are these lovely people. Let's go around the room, introduce yourselves, and tell us who you're playing tonight. Let's start with Kay.
Hi, Kay, also known as Undead Kay on the interwebs. I will be playing Scarlet, the Hound.
Very cool, very cool. And Throck.
Hang on, I'm on an iPad today because my motherboard died. What's up, team? Hi, this is Sean, also known as Throck. I am playing Grimalkin, your friendly neighborhood spider and person who likes to be weirdly violent occasionally.
Weirdly violent. I like that.
He has a mean streak.
That's the best kind of violence.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. And Crystal?
Hello, people. My name is Crystal Fear. I am playing Ebony, the Whisper.
Could you maybe get a little closer to the mic? I feel like I just had a hard time hearing you.
Let's try that.
Oh, that's cool. That's better. That's better. So who are you playing?
I am playing Ebony, the Whisper.
The Whisper. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And Bisonic?
Hello, I am Bisonic Kevin. I will be playing Sparrow, your lurk.
All right. And Death by Mage?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage, and I will be playing Victor, the Leech.
The Leech. All right. So that is our cast. And in case you are unaware, Blades is a game about a bunch of scoundrels, and that is exactly what these beautiful people are playing this evening. And they are scoundrels in the worst city. It's like Gotham if Gotham sucked more, I guess, and didn't have super people running around. It is set in a world where the sun is dead, ghosts are running rampant and eating people outside of the walls of the city, sometimes within the walls. The last vestiges of humanity are walled off in behind these impenetrable lightning walls, and basically trapped with each other in these terrible, terrible cities that are ripe with crime, corruption, and some other negative word that starts with a C. I can't think. Last we left off, would anyone like to recap us on what happened last episode? Nobody? Okay.
I was imprisoned.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Let's see. We traded a creepy painting to the mimes.
Yes, you did.
It was creepy, and we got some info. John Iron's wife has a ghost who is lost. Perhaps finding it will help us get rid of him. The Slitherers were wiped out by John in the aftermath of that. Our bud tender. No, we don't. Have our bartender Chad Kruger is a brick who has no brain, and told us that Victor had been taken a little after the fact. Lady Vasheen was a new noble who was looking for a team. The cards that Evany had were inhabited by the ghost of Two Buck Chuck, who was forced to help her learn more. Let's see. Scarlet met with something called the Order of the Lachrymose and got a fun little pet, an ocelot named Ember. They will ask for a favor in the future. It and Sparrow don't seem to like each other.
Are these your notes? Are these all your...
This is about a quarter of them. There's only a little bit left. The Bluecoats questioned Victor about quote-unquote revolution. And Lady Vasheen has a very nice house, but it is in disrepair as she's falling down the social ladder. She has a restaurant called the Deluxe XX. Well, 2X.
No, that was the restaurant that...
okay, she has the Ventru. I keep wanting to say Ventru.
I know. I also do now that... Yeah, my mistake.
It's next to the Deluxe, and she wanted us to destroy the Deluxe. So instead of robbing the place in a brash, brazen robbery, we poisoned the crab. The maitre d' had killed someone, so Evany used the ghost of the dead person. The maitre d' was also drugged, dumped into a dumpster on top of Karen, who was one of the kitchen staff, pantsless.
Was one of the kitchen staff. I don't think she's able to keep her job.
I think everyone got fired.
I think Karen would have probably quit.
Yeah,
Karen definitely quit, but not before filing like an obscenely long 10-page like Yelp review.
Oh yeah.
An anonymous screed in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
We brought reporters in to witness the thing, and one of Throck's contacts brought all her frenemies.
Yes, who all got very ill.
All right, we found a safe, which Sparrow easily busted with a fancy scroll, the property deed, and the ledger. Evany found a radiant flower that she's going to hold on to. I elected to hold on to the property deed so that we can make claim on the property later. And Lady Vasheen was pleased with our work. I handed her the ledger and so she could make more contacts, and Grimalkin invited her to breakfast.
Yes.
Which is breakfast? No? Okay.
Breakfast and tea, something like that.
I was gonna say breakfast at Tiffany's, but you know.
Sadly, it does not sound like there will be sexy times before that breakfast, so it's fine.
Probably not.
Sounds like it is a prelude to other things later.
Perhaps, or you just need to work at it a little bit. You know, she just met you. You know, she
Start a
doesn't
clock.
believe.
We
You
got
also
plenty
have
of
a mullet.
room.
You're gonna have to work past the mullet with her. That's like to get past that aspect.
Can anyone truly work past the mullet?
No, but he's very suave, so he's got a chance.
It's a suave mullet.
It is, I would assume, yes. Well, that sounds. I think you pretty much got it.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty it.
I
Very
take good notes.
yes. I feel like you recounted that information the way that Sparrow would have, where it's just notes that she was taking and just reverberated back.
There's some things that happened in between. None of them mattered to Sparrow.
That's exactly it.
Sounds about right.
I do believe. Did it happen last session or the session before where the theater burnt down?
That was the session before.
That was the session before. Okay. So then I believe we ended with you all exiting from Lady Vasheen's mansion, or did we all meet up at the bar? I can't quite remember. I believe
I think we were exiting the mansion and discussed the flower briefly.
Yes.
And Lady Vasheen did not seem to give any special attention to Ebony.
Yeah.
No. Nope. Which Ebony was worried about, but yeah, doesn't seem to know you or care. Just
Aw.
thankful that you all were able to complete the job. So then we will start with you are it is a misty summery kind of night in Brightstone, which is where you are. And where would you guys like to go? Who would you like to talk to? It is now officially I do believe it is downtime at this point. So you're good to go. You got the payout. I believe you got the rep already. Did we do that on the crew sheet? We think
We did not do the rep. We did do the payout.
Okay, cool. Then you would have gotten this was an exceptionally difficult one. So I would say you would get the normal amount of rep, 2 rep, right, per job.
Thereabouts.
So let's throw that.
And we got 1 coin each, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because this is the first job for her, which is lower.
Oh, that reminds me, that coin that I found needs to go on the crew sheet. Well,
Oh, I found 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 3 coins were in the safe.
Yeah.
I had one from Karen's tips that I took with me.
Because you're terrible.
Oh yeah, you took it out of her pocket and she was saving it or something.
Yep.
I'll put 2 in the crew stash
Okay.
from the 3 I found.
Did
Sarah, take one for yourself.
Did anybody already put that 2 rep on there? If not, I'll do it. No? Okay. Boop, boop. Working your way up on that rep, and you already have 1 turf, so let's fill that in. Okay.
Sorry, I have a cat in my lap, and you're probably hearing that through my microphone, so I'm going to mute.
That's fine. So, you guys, I'm going to say you probably regather back at your HQ, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the Thunder Bucket.
All right. Then, as you arrive at the Thunder Bucket, Victor, would you have headed back to HQ?
Oh yeah.
Find out. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing when you go there?
Victor's going to have a drink.
Okay. All right.
Also, who the hell is this guy?
So, this bartender, who you noticed when you were getting picked up by the police, who's totally different than the original bartender, and he just introduced himself. Name's Chud. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Victor. I'll be handling anything you people might need.
Okay. Is this? I'm assuming you're new.
Oh, yes, I am, sir.
How new?
Well, they brought me in right after the last owner left.
Where
Yeah.
are they?
I don't know, out on a job, sir. They should be back relatively soon. Did you want a drink?
Yes.
Yeah. And he pours you a drink. What does Victor drink?
Probably gin.
Hey, gin it is. Gets it for you, puts it down. So,
He you see him just slowly massaging his face with a glass of gin.
Do you want some ice?
Yeah.
Was it and he goes into like a little freezer box, pulls out some ice. Was it that bad?
And Chud eventually starts seeing there's a little bit of a shiner on his right side of his face, and you can see there's a few bits of little cuts along the neck and his hands. Looks like some defensive wounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And would you like to try to roll for the two like information that you were going to try to acquire while you were
Yeah.
being interrogated?
Yeah, sure. So
Kind of doing a reverse interrogation.
right. So the first thing that Victor wanted to know well, actually, before getting out of prison, he wanted to make sure he got some nice smuggling contacts, because you never know when we need to go back.
I like that. Well then, what would you have used in order to get those contacts?
I probably will say that I looked around. I would say that Victor probably used survey to look around, find all the snitches and the smugglers who are inside the prison, people who can find things and know who to talk to bring things to the inside.
Okay. Now, I will say you weren't in the deep prison part of
Right.
it. You were brought there in sort of their interrogation holding cells.
Right.
Now, it's still sort of like a yard because they questioned so many people, and this city is so packed with population that they do it to just kind of corral you all. Think like a big holding cell in a jail, but like a yard. So you definitely were able to meet some people, but you didn't get the full prison experience.
Right.
But you're still definitely able to meet some people there. It is still a hellish, terrible place, even in there. You can't imagine what the actual prison might be like, because even this was rough and dangerous. But yeah. So roll what you would use,
Okay.
and I would say that this would be risky
Mhm.
and with standard effects.
Okay. Okay. I got a 6 out of
Right.
it.
Okay. So upon talking with people, you have learned that there is a group that specializes in smuggling things in and out of this prison, and they're known as the pipe rats.
Pipe rats?
The pipe rats. Yeah.
Okay.
And you met with one of them. His name is Tommy. What do you guys think? I was gonna say Tommy Tiptoes, but that's just stupid.
I was gonna say Tommy Shoelaces, so it makes you feel any better.
Tommy Timberlake. Yeah.
Tommy Laces. Tommy
Tommy
Laces.
Laces.
Tommy Laces. I
I like
it.
this.
Tommy Laces because he has very bright pink shoelaces. Silly, but he fucking works it. So Tommy Laces part of the pipe rats. So if any of you ever end up in prison, you might be able to contact Tommy Laces and get a little something from the outside to protect you. So not bad. He's definitely not like, you're not like in with them, you know what I mean? But you know about it, and you could definitely have some form of professional relationship with him.
Right.
So nice. And then what was the second thing that you wanted to do?
Well, Victor knew that this was a chance and wanted to see what the Bluecoats knew.
All right. And how would you try to get info from them while they were extracting information from you?
So I kind of see it like how that scene in Avengers with Black Widow, where it's like, it's like that bit of acting as if I don't really know anything, because realistically, Victor doesn't know a whole lot of what's going on. So so I feel like him partially being having some bit of innocence while still trying to, whenever they bring up something, he will probably pose a question where they will probably get a little upset about, because they'll be like, we're the ones asking the questions, not you.
Right.
But I feel like that's him trying to read the room, and also I feel like also that that's also him trying to be a little manipulative. So I guess that's technically sway. I mean, sway could be one. I could see study being the other one.
I was gonna say study is another way because you're like analyzing them.
Yeah.
Whatever you think, whatever you have the higher points in, I guess.
Okay. I think I can do study because it makes sense. Like, he's definitely taking the beating, though, for it, and he's just, like, taking his time, looking at how they react.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do study. What's the position?
So this would definitely be risky.
Okay.
And I would say because they are who they are, risky limited.
Okay.
Limited result.
Okay. And we'll do that, and probably don't get a whole lot out of that.
Because it's the blue coats, and they're tough.
Yeah.
They're like the hardest. They're the biggest gang in the city.
Right. Yeah, they're the biggest gang in the city.
They're the biggest gang, and they win every fight.
Right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I didn't get much out of that.
That's mixed result, right? Or that's fail?
That's a fail, technically.
Okay, so here's the only thing that you got from them. Because again, kind of like what you said, they were like, we're the ones asking the questions. What you did get was a name.
Okay.
The Scovlin Liberation Front. And all you don't know a leader's name. You don't know really what the organization's about. You don't know why they're so upset about them or why they connected them to you, except for the fact that you're Scovlin and, there's a lot of tensions between there. But you do know that they are somewhere in Char Hollow. The section of the city known as Char Hollow.
Okay, in Char Hollow.
That's all you're really able to glean, but it's something.
Okay.
And you got beaten up for this, which I'm sure Victor's not 100% pleased
about. No.
So, but they didn't give you any kind of real info.
Okay.
Did you want to play any of those scenes, or you want to just be?
I feel like we can just move over to them, move past them, because that way we can get into tonight's stuff. I'm okay with that.
So then I'll say that the rest of the group enters the bar, and you guys see that Victor is standing there nursing a sore face, which is the usual when there's close encounters with blue coats.
You look like shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This gin is not helping.
You're supposed to drink it.
So, what happened?
The blue coats wanted to know about something called the Scovlin Liberation Front. I'm Scovlin, and so they ask me.
And it is not a thing you know anything about?
No, I do not know. But I'm beginning to worry that it might relate to why I am in this city.
Lovely.
Go on.
I'm looking for a comrade from the war. His name is Ivan. Before I came to this city, I was doing another job with Ivan. I made a bomb, a big bomb, and people died. He came here. I went looking for him. I've been looking for him for several days, and I know he knows that I am in this city and looking for him. And that the last time I saw anything, a letter was given that said he would contact me soon.
But if he's going to contact you, why are you out looking for him?
I still don't know the rest of the story. I would like to know more before I speak with Ivan. Sort of like how you, Grimulkin, want to have all the pieces on the board.
Speaking of all the pieces on the board, What exactly was the board that you described for them?
Well, they only wanted to know about the front, which I knew nothing, other than what I've heard from them. And what I heard from them was that there seems to be activity in Cha Alo. As for here and for us, they didn't care about any of those sorts of things. They only cared about the front.
Insight check. I don't think there's a way to do that. I actually kind of believe Victor. I don't see any reason not to believe Victor.
I would say it probably would have been study or sway or consort, probably.
I mean, I'll make a study check
okay.
just because I feel like Grimalkin would.
Yeah, study his mannerisms and it, like, you know, his eyes. Where is he looking when he's speaking?
A 1 and a 4.
Okay, so you know, hard to read. Seems like he's being honest.
Yeah.
But he is this man. I will say that in studying his face, Victor's got sort of a kind of a hidden heaviness to him. He's got a bit of he's a wall if he needs to be. You know what I mean? You can almost see
Yeah.
He's a hardy guy.
Okay. I don't got nothing else. I think, well, if as long as we weren't brought up, unless there's anything you need, do you need something from us on this? Are you all right? Do you need medical attention or anything with the Shiner?
No, just some rest maybe, and probably food. The food was not good.
Oh, don't get the crab.
No, definitely not.
And Sparrow walks upstairs.
Good advice.
I'm gonna does our bar serve food?
Yeah,
It can.
I'm gonna go
bar
into the
food.
back. Yeah, okay. Well, I just want a piece of raw meat.
All right. Yeah, I can get you some salted meat. No problem. And goes and gets you some meat. Yeah, you sure you don't want it cooked?
Should I cook it?
I don't. I mean, should you? Is this like a philosophical question? Like, should we ever?
I'm feeding it to Ember.
Oh, you weird cat. All right. Well, it's a cat, right? It just eats garbage.
I feel like Ember will be fine without it being cooked, so no,
Or it'll die.
won't eat garbage.
All right. So he just gives you some meat. You're good to go. You can go feed your weird ghost cat. Okay. So is there anything anybody particularly wanted to do? Or shall we jump to your downtime activities?
I think I'm good to move to downtime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Very well. So then, let's figure who wants to go first. Let's do Sparrow this time, because I think we did you last time. Sparrow,
Gotcha.
what would you like to do?
I would like to start by going to the theater and indulging my vice.
Okay, no problem. This theater is not on fire.
Oh,
This
so it's much more relaxing than last
Yeah,
time.
you actually go into this theater and it's not on. However, no one's there to let you in. So
I go in the back.
I was gonna say you could just pay for a ticket, but okay, you want to just
No, I can't pay for a ticket.
okay.
I just can't bring myself to buy tickets.
Not to this dribble, these terrible actresses. All right, fine. So you're gonna sneak into this theater?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give me a roll for that?
A prowl,
Yeah, probably.
controlled, limited, risky.
Risky just because you're sneaking into a place that you're not supposed to sneak into, but I would say like great effect because you're gonna get right where you want to be.
Okay.
Succeed. If you don't, you die.
I got a 4.
You die. No, so you sneak in, and as you are making your way, how do you sneak in? Do you go through like a window or something, or are you just walking in the back? Like,
I'm just gonna walk in the back like one of the crew
okay,
with the.
okay. So you do so, and it's working fine. But as you're walking, one of the actresses grabs you, goes, "Hey, I need you. Come on!" And you're just like leading you to a an area where there's costumes and makeup and stuff. And
Mhm.
she goes, "I'm going to need you to put on that makeup for me." And she's like sitting there getting like, accessories on. Come on. And she's waiting for you to apply makeup to her face.
Just the biggest powder puff right in her face.
And her face is like snow white. Now, do you stay to apply the rest, or do you just bail?
I will stay to apply the rest actually because
Okay.
this is fun.
Yeah, so she all right, okay. That's good. Full coverage. That's good.
Close your eyes
All right.
and just raccoon eyeshadow.
She can't see any of it. The powder has clogged the mirror, so she's like, "All right, this is excellent." So big raccoon eyes around her eyes.
And I've never seen this play, so I don't know what part she's playing.
Yeah, no, this is good.
So I'm going to give her the standard big red cheeks and like pox dots of the French court kind of look.
Okay, I like
a
it.
painted lady in a Victorian film from the about Versailles.
Okay.
What was that film with what's her face from The Thing and the Marie Antoinette?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
Marie Antoinette.
I'll trust your judgment.
Yeah, so it's very, very heavily painted look.
It's ridiculous, right? You're going over the top.
Over the top.
I like it.
Verging on punk rock.
Okay.
We're talking like 30 layers of foundation that's completely unnecessary and probably unhealthy for your skin.
Yeah, you could like peel it off at this point with how much you put on there. It comes off in goops. But so so that's good. She goes, "All right, how do I look?"
Perfect.
Excellent. And off she goes, full confidence, going about her way and just and like getting prepared to do her part.
At which point I climb into the rafters.
Okay, you do so, and you watch the play. She is the lead, unfortunately, tonight. So as she steps on stage, there is giggling and laughing. You can see that some of the people, when she walked on stage, the other actresses, you can see that now they're actors and actresses, so they're like holding it, but they're like, like you can't, because they're on stage, show must go on, but they're like their eyes are screaming, and you can see, and she's just not getting it, and she just goes on. It's a very dramatic scene where her lover has just died. It's almost like a play on Romeo and Juliet. She's Juliet right now, or whatever. So she's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be very sad." The music is like, "Don't," but people are laughing, and you can see it's frustrating her and everybody else. It's pretty great. I would say this is definitely entertaining.
All right, let me click the button for Indulge Vice and roll a 1.
Indulge that vice and roll that 1. Is it a 1?
Yes. You jinxed yourself.
You just had to put it out there.
Well, at least I'm not going to overindulge.
This is fair.
Hey, you're literally impossible. Okay, that sucks. Did you?
How much stress you got there, Sparrow?
Oh, I'm down to 5. Things are great. How are you? It's not a relaxing play because I'm.
No, you're not really. Yeah, because
I changed it too much. It's not as funny as I thought it would be.
Yeah, you took away from the actual play itself.
This would have been decent if I hadn't done that.
Okay, so that's your vice. Did you want to do anything else with your downtime?
I would like to continue to turn off our heat.
Okay.
And I will do that with finesse. How do I do that with finesse?
Did you want to steal more stuff? did you want to
I feel like that's not going to
evidence
keep
and someone else?
working. There's only so much evidence. I think I would. I'm not the kind to talk to people.
What about like arsonist? Like you could frame a known arsonist or something like that because you did burn down the place. You could say that you hide like fire starting tools in someone else's place who is also under suspicion.
Yeah, I will start hiding bits of someone else's like someone has a calling card.
Okay.
And it's like a certain type of flower petal that doesn't burn up completely.
Okay. Do you want to do this from an actual person or just you make it up? Like make a ghost for them to catch, or do you want to actually frame like an arsonist who's like a freelancer in the city? Because that could have consequences of its own, though I love it.
Why I'm going to do it.
Okay. Okay. So
frames an arsonist. Sorry, everybody.
This is an arsonist for hire who is a freelancer in the city known as Fireflower because they leave a flower that does not burn. I don't know how, but I guess I'll make that up at some point. A fireproof flower, or leaves a perfectly colored flower after the fact. Somehow comes back to the scene of the crime, always to leave a flower to be like, "This was my work. Peace." Yeah. I like that better. That's easy. Right. Daring.
Would you call that finesse or prowl? I could see either.
I could see either. Whichever one you think is stronger.
I will finesse it into a position.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. Subtle misdirection. Yeah.
All right. So we just
risky.
Oh, risky. And
well, this is technically to bring down the heat, so I don't think that applies.
I think you just roll, and then we use whatever your roll is to determine how much heat you get rid of.
Downtime activities and summary heat. Is it reducing heat? There we go. There's the chart. I got a 4.
Pretty good.
So I clear 2 more of our heat. We are down to.
You're pretty low at this point, I do believe.
No, our heat isn't all that low. We're down to 3.
It's better than 9.
It's better than the 9 we were at.
Yeah.
But that's all of my downtime activities.
Okay. That's very good. So arsonist framed, fireflower. Excellent. And that'll never come back to bite you.
I know. That's
excellent. All right. So
we'll forget. It's all good. John Irons will forget.
That's true. Let's do Grimalkin. Did you have anything planned for your downtime?
Yeah, I'm just going to well, I want to schmooze. That's not actually a downtime activity that I'm aware of, but
schmoozing?
Yes.
It depends on what the goal is.
Lady Vishon, to just increase our. I feel like there's an opportunity there for us as a unit to have a long-term wealthy benefactor who probably wants to climb the ladder in her way as much as we do in our way. And so I'd like to do something with that. And then I'd also like to do another tick on the clock for my noble map of power.
Okay, which you can do while there, probably, because you're in Brightstone. So that does make sense. So let's say you're schmoozing, but this is the actual downtime.
Okay.
Thing. Maybe you are speaking to her about people in the area.
Yeah, that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and do you want me to roll one of your things for you, or would you like to roll with your dice?
I've got these pretty dice here. I think I'd like to roll them tonight. All right. So we've got 4 and a 5. And that would probably be consort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you rolled a 5. So you only had 2 ticks left on the clock.
Yep.
I believe a 5 fills you up, does it not?
Oh, it fills me up.
Oh, buddy. So the noble power map is full. You, while talking to Lady Vasheen, she is able to really shine some light onto the relationships in the area. She is nobility after all, and she has been involved with this stuff since she was a kid, just in with all the parties and all the nonsense with their parents running her through the ringer of this. So she's able to really give you a lot of good information. And I will say that you have because you wanted to do this more so in regards to your target, correct?
My nemesis. Yes, I'm looking for someone who I'm looking to create a countervailing network of nobles who can undercut that feckless bad person.
Okay, so are you looking for his enemies or his allies to bring down?
Or people who aren't necessarily allied in any way, who I can bring into the cause. Powerful people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I will give
I don't care if they know him already. I care that I can use them.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I will give you one right off the bat. Let me get to him. Dun, 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 dun. He is another nobleman. He's a little strange.
Of course he is.
But his name is Nigel Weatherford III.
Nigel Weatherford III. I like it. It's a
Weatherford
good name. That's the name for someone with a strong jaw. I appreciate it.
Absolutely no chin.
Smashing.
Yeah, just completely no chin at all. Just all the way back at his neck.
He lives in a mansion in Six Towers. Now, Six Towers used to be a big, ritzy, beautiful place, but doesn't have a whole lot of nobility left in it. It's sort of like a strange kind of part of town now, where there is some nobility that have stayed behind and others that have completely abandoned it. So it has a weird, stark sort of high-low when it comes to the economic status of that area. So I'm going to say Nigel Weatherford III. I will also give you one of the allies of your man, which is Lord Dorman.
Okay.
Rman. So that's someone to watch out for, or someone to bring down later if you need to weaken asshole's status. Lord Dorman. And Lady Torral is another person that you can work for. Lady Torrall, which is
Torrall. Got it.
Yeah, Torral. No, not so much someone that has jobs for you, but it's more someone that if you wanted to go and communicate with and talk to. And I don't have a name roller in front of me, but for now, you want to stick with those three names, investigate them, and then I can give you more later.
Yeah. And so I guess I'll start with, as my second downtime activity, I'd like to start a new project to bring Lord Nigel Weatherby III into my sphere of influence.
Okay. So now how do you mean like begin to actually have him as a target that you could eventually reach?
Yeah, I want to make him a contact. I want to make him one of my buddies.
Oh, Nigel Weatherford.
Yes.
I thought you meant your bad guy. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. So then that would probably just be a 4:00.
Okay.
He's not hard to reach. He's weird, but he's not like, impossible to find. So I can definitely make you another clock for that.
And that would probably be consort as well. Yeah.
Rename this one. Okay. So go right ahead.
I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4? How many does that make for you?
2.
2? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right now I'm just going to put him on the alert clock until I figure out how to do this nonsense.
All right. That's it for me.
Okay. Very cool.
Throck out.
Bam. Grimulkin getting his shit done. Okay. So next, let's do Crystal. What would you like to do with your downtime?
Well, the first thing I want to do is train up my cards because I want to know more about these damn things.
Okay, not a problem. So as you do, I would assume that you would use... Now, here's the thing. Now that you have Tubok Chuck with you, you can use Attune again with the cards if you want, or you can use like Sway or Consort. You can talk to him and see how much information he's going to help with it. You kind of have a little bit more options now that I've personality to these cards, or a personality trapped within these cards. So what would you like to roll to determine how far along the clock you get?
I like the idea of using Consort to talk
to Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. Yeah. I thought I pulled my camera out of the thing. All right, so go ahead and roll. Tell me what you get.
So position would be controlled?
It doesn't matter. You can just roll it because we go by the dice number, like what the highest dice number is, not the effect.
Okay.
4. Okay. So I believe, does that pump up 2 or 1? I believe it pumps up 2 if I'm not mistaken, but I could be mistaken. 2?
It's 2.
Thought so. So your card research goes up by 2.
2.
1, 2. And what are you talking to him about? How do you progress that? Like, how does that conversation go?
I would ask him about the history of him, what he's done with him, what he used them for.
Okay. So he's going to give you a little bit of a story.
Okay.
Not too much information, but he's telling you a bit. I got him from a guy, right? Now, I was a very handsome gambler, but not the best gambler, right? So I got in a little bit of debts, had a little bit of problems, and up came this fucking guy who said that he could help me out. So I said, sure. And he showed me these cards. He did some diddly-do magic with them. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. I want to be able to do that. Give me that shit. And he said, sure, it'll cost you your soul. I said, deal. So I got the cards. I'm awesome. They change when I hold them, when I kind of focused on them. And so I started to learn more about them. And well, with those things in my possession, I was really able to climb through the ranks. I mean, people were scared of me. But, all things, good things must come to an end, and I came to Duskball. But I was able to climb the power wall in Duskball, which is cool. Oh, I got them in Severosi, you see, the cards. And I met the man in Severosi. So I don't know if you're going to find anybody who knows anything about these fucking things out here. But over in Severosi, there's probably a few people who know about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And he looks like he's thinking about something, and he kind of shakes it away. Never mind. And then he just sort of looks around, and he grabs like a nearby drink, and his hand goes through it. He goes, fuck. And then he concentrates, grabs it, and drinks it. And you can see it like go into his body and then fall out. And he goes, fuck. This sucks. Shit. I see why ghosts go fucking nuts. This is awful.
Indeed.
You want to play a round of cards?
Not right now.
All right. And he walks off and just sort of disappears. And was there any other thing you'd like to do with your downtime?
I want to see about researching where John Irons' wife might have died.
Okay. And how would you like to do this?
That's a very good question. I think I want to talk to my teammates about it.
Okay. Did you want to save that downtime activity then for the end, and it can be like a group thing? That sounds like a big thing everybody could do.
That works.
All right. Then we'll do Victor. Did you want to do downtime, or did you want to make the prison thing your downtime thing?
I have an idea what I want to do.
What's up? What do you want to do?
So Victor is going to find Scarlet.
Can I help you?
How good are you at finding people?
Fairly decent.
Well, do you feel like walking through Char Allah with me?
Sure. Why not? Gives me something to do today.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
We're gonna continue my project of finding Ivan, because Victor is a one trick pony, and it has compulsions beyond belief.
No problem.
Also, he's kind of worried about this whole Scoveland Front Liberation Front.
Fair, very fair. Well, then go right ahead. What would you use, or are you more piggybacking on Scarlet's hunting ability?
I'm more piggybacking on Scarlet's hunting ability. Um, uh,
And you're looking specifically for this
uh,
Ivan fellow.
yes, and I would prefer not to have my leg again.
All right. And she'll ask for like physical description, that sort of thing.
And I Victor will give what he remembers from the last time he saw Ivan, what he looks like. So kind of
You
rough
want to
cut.
describe him?
Yeah, sure. It's like rough cut hair, probably dark brown hair, green eyes, and has kind of a scar running down his left cheek, and also has a little bit of a limp as well, because war times is not fun for anyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and he has a tattoo of a serpent on his right hand.
Okay. I guess that would be what, like a.
I mean, if you
I
can
would-
hunt, you can hunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's possible, hunt would probably be best.
Oh
but
yeah,
if
this
you-
is
yeah.
this is what you do. Finding somebody that someone else can't find with a decent description of them. This is your business. This is what you're good at. And I will say, since you two are working together on it, we're gonna go with your role, Scarlet. But we're just gonna add one to whatever it is because you have Victor helping.
Like an assist.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Risky.
So it doesn't matter. We just go off of the roll, and then because you're filling in a clock, so it doesn't matter what the thing is.
Oh, okay.
I would say though that it's risky.
I mean, it's gonna be risky because
It's gonna be.
because
Last
we're gonna
time
be
we got beat up.
yeah. Last time I got beat up, so
Yeah, true. Standard effect.
It doesn't matter, yeah,
yeah.
because it matters that we're gonna fill the clock.
And then one bonus dice. Oh!
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 Double sixes!
Oh!
Oh!
Yes, it
Oh!
is.
Snap!
So we're gonna hold on. Let me go ahead and fill that up. So here's what you do. With doing this a couple times by yourself has borne very little fruit, and you're not waiting around for Ivan to come and contact you. You're tired of this shit. So you take Scarlet, and Scarlet, how do you hunt this guy down? You're gonna find him, and I'll tell you where you find him. But how do you hunt him down?
I mean, really, it's gonna start with just like a general survey of the area, take a look around, see if I notice anybody who looks out of place. Eventually, once I've kind of narrowed down a specific location where I think it may be more likely, she's gonna take to the rooftops, and I would imagine she should have like a scope or something on her rifle, so she could at least like just see that, could take it off.
Sure, yeah, like a collapsing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are able to find a man matching that description that he gave you in a tenement building. And he seems to be shuffling through an apartment in the tenement building. You can see him through. He looks like he's on the 4th floor of the tenement building. So you found him. You know which room it is, and you know which floor it is. Now you just, how do you go about this?
I'm gonna go ahead and share that information with Victor. Show him through the spyglass. Hey, this is where he is. What do you want to do?
And does it look like Victor? I mean, Ivan?
It does look like Ivan. I do that too. I get you guys confused. It does indeed look like Ivan. He looks distressed. He looks upset. And while you're looking through the telescope, you see him pop his head up, not looking at you, looking the other way towards where his front door would be. And he goes, and he starts heading over there.
It looks like Ivan could be in trouble.
I'm assuming you want to help.
Yeah. If you don't mind, would you be lookout and possibly and Victor points at the rifle.
Sure, why not? Again, nothing better to do today.
Thank you. I owe you a drink.
Noted.
So Victor is gonna have he brought his like a small load of stuff with him, not like a whole lot, not for a job, but he just brought enough to at least protect himself this time. And so he's gonna start heading down to the tenement house and going to see if he can try to, reach Ivan and cut him off.
Okay. So as you head towards the tenement house, you make your way up to Ivan's floor. Right? Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Try to just reach whatever. And as you make your way up the stairs to that floor, you hear what sounds like arguing in the hallway.
Okay.
It sounds like there is definitely a man standing in the hallway, and you can hear Ivan's voice, and you know that it's Ivan sort of talking to this man, trying to calm him down. The man sounds irate, and he says, "We've been waiting for way too long. It's time for you to get back to work. We know that things are a little hot right now, but we need you. We need things running smooth. Come on. We're having a problem with some of the machines, and you're the only one who knows how to fix these fucking things." And Ivan's like, I am telling you, I will do it, but it is too dangerous right now. There are people in the city that are looking for. I don't give a fuck who's looking for you. You need to get back to fucking work. This is why we pay you, Ivan. And he's like, come on. And he goes, don't make me make you. And he goes, oh, come on now. And you can hear the door sort of being pushed. It sounds like the man is going to breach Ivan's apartment and rough him up a bit. Doesn't sound like lethal, but it sounds like maybe Ivan's going to be hurt or forced, at least dragged out.
Victor would probably let the whole scene play out.
Okay.
He will let it play out.
So the door shuts and the voices become muffled. You can hear some of the other doors lock in some of the other apartments. Now, that's when you can start here. Do you want to get closer to listen in, or do you just want to stay where you are?
What I'll do is I'll be like at the halfway point where at least I can hear enough, but be in a safe spot where if I hear them coming out, I have a quick way to just turn into a little hallway or the stairwell and just be able to hide back in and try to keep my presence unknown.
Okay, so get close but not too close, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So close enough to hear what you can sort of hear what they're saying, and it again is more this man basically teaching Ivan a lesson. You know what I mean? Look, the next time we tell you to jump, you fucking jump, Ivan. I don't give a fuck who you are. And he's like, look, but I don't. Boom, boom. And he goes, I fuck. All right. And he's like, you're lucky. You're fucking lucky that you're in Char Hollow. Otherwise, I would have all my boys up here beating the fucking piss out of you. You're fucking lucky. You know that Char Hollow doesn't take super kindly to heavy criminal activity. No criminals have been able to really sink their claws into Char Hollow. It's hard to get a grip on this town because the townsfolk are very get the fuck out. But little incidents like this, they don't care. So anyway, you know that this man's probably alone. And he hits Ivan a few times. Ivan kind of bumps into something. And he goes, all right. I will come. Just stop. He's like, that's fucking right. All right, let's go. And they start walking towards the door.
Okay. Yeah. Victor is going to try to find a hallway to just sneak past and hide.
Okay.
But he'll want to at least take a look because he'll be curious. He wants to know who he's dealing with.
Okay. So you go around, let's say there's a little inlet where there's a little chair and a table. And you go and kind of hide back there. And as they go walking, you see Ivan. He doesn't look well. He looks not sickly, but he looks very stressed. Not that he just got beaten up. Ivan better than that. He can take a bit of a beating. There's something going on. There's something on his mind. Something heavy. He looks a little scared. And the fact that he's giving in to this man is a little also strange because he's a little hardier than this. But he's going, and the man walking behind him is a pretty large guy. He is in the classic brown duster and big brown boots of an iron biter. not John Irons, but this is an Ironbiter, which makes sense as to why Ironbiters beat you up the last time you were looking for Victor or Ivan. So I did it. So the big like boots of the Ironbiter walking right behind Ivan as they begin to make for the stairs, and they start going down.
Okay. I'll wait until they're clear.
Okay.
And then I will see if either A, the door is unlocked, and if it is, I am going in. If not, I will still knock on that door.
Ivan's door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the door is locked behind him.
Okay.
And you knock on the door, there is no answer. There doesn't seem to be anybody else in there.
I'm gonna break the lock. I'm probably gonna actually, yeah. I'm gonna use. I'm probably feel like at that point, yeah. I'm just gonna pick the lock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, just roll tinker, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You think that's what you'd roll? All right.
Yeah, that's what I would roll.
That makes sense.
Probably risky. And
yeah,
probably...
risky. Standard because
yeah.
It would unlock, which is pretty standard for unlocking something.
Yeah, so I got a mixed result there for a 4. So.
Okay, so you did it.
Mm-hmm.
But you broke the lock, and they're gonna notice that someone broke in.
That's fine. He can deal with. Ivan can deal with it. I don't have to deal with it.
he needs to get a fucking locksmith. But you're in like Flynn from Gunga Din. You can enter his apartment and search it to your heart's content. Scarlet, you see now that after a short tussle with Ivan and an Ironbiter, you do see now that Victor is entering the apartment. Which you can see from your rooftop vantage. And you also see that downstairs you see the Ironbiter and Ivan getting out and walking away.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just gonna kind of keep an eye, make sure nobody tries to break into the apartment. On top of other than
Victor breaking into the apartment. Okay.
Victor, nobody else.
You're gonna
no more break-ins, just the one.
So you're gonna stick being Overwatch for Victor.
Yeah.
Okay. So Victor, you go in there. What do you do? What are you looking for?
So what I'm gonna look for, if it sounds, since they said he was making them something, he's gonna look at any kind of workshop station that exists.
Okay.
And he's gonna see if there's any blueprints or formulas available, because that will tell him everything he needs to know.
Okay, excellent. So what do you think? Study?
Study or survey.
Study or survey, whichever you think is more appropriate to your character.
All right. So risky still, I'm assuming.
I would say that this is controlled, because I feel like this is like your shit.
Okay.
Risky was breaking in, but you're in now, whatever.
Okay.
So I would say controlled and great.
Great. Okay. And do you got a devil's bargain for me, Evan?
Do I have a devil's bargain to give you an extra dice?
Or does anybody else have a devil's bargain for me?
Yeah, does anybody else have one? I don't know if I can think of one for this.
Ivan will know it was Victor.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ivan would know it was Victor, like something gets left behind or something.
That's very good.
I like that. Okay. I'll take that devil's bargain.
I'll
take that devil's bargain. So for one extra bonus die, here we go. Ah.
God. Okay.
No.
So he won't. Oh, great.
So that's failure, right? 3.
Yeah, I think for control, yeah, it's still technically a failure.
And I tried to help. All right. So...
I guess the best way to put it is like, I kind of did find it, but I made it so obvious that it's me that this will probably have obvious repercussions.
Yes. But what you do find is nothing that helps you really, but you do find what looks like he was burning something. He doesn't have like a fireplace per se, because it's like a tenement building, but he has like a little stove that you can like fire, throw stuff in there. It sends. Actually, hey, everybody's probably got wood burning stoves, and like there's a billion chimneys because the city sucks. But he looks like he was burning a bunch of papers.
Okay, so Victor's gonna take those unburnt pieces and shove it in his coat pocket, and that's definitely gonna be the obvious sign that besides the break-in, there's only one other person
who else would specifically look for burnt up blueprints and documents. Yeah, like what the fuck. And he knows your handiwork. He knows the way that you search. You didn't flip the room apart.
Nope.
You methodically went to where you knew he would put plans. So he's gonna fucking know it was you.
Yeah.
But it can't.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be hard to really tell what he was working on or what they have been doing.
Yeah, and I feel like at that point, because of that, Victor's not going to overstay his welcome, so
Okay.
he's gonna definitely take his leave. And you know he knows he already made an entrance and he's already kind of put himself out there, but this is kind of a bigger invitation for Ivan now. So we'll see. So he's gonna see what happens next, but he's definitely gonna be definitely thinking about preparing for the future.
Okay, very cool, very cool, and awesome.
And yeah, and before I leave out the room, I'll signal Scarlet that I'm good. I'm heading out.
Scarlet will just go down and meet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Okay, so you are able to exit, no problem. The repercussions for that will come after.
Yes.
And you're good to go. So then, Scarlet, did you have another thing you wanted to do for your downtime, or are you just?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to see if I could get any information, like start a thing for trying to get some information on the Lacrimose.
On I'm sorry, what?
On the Lacrimose.
Oh, the Lacrimose. You want to start a long-term project to learn more about them?
Yup.
Okay, no problem. Now, how would you go about learning about a cult?
Well, first she's actually what she's thinking about doing, just because she is good at like tracking people, that sort of thing. She's going to start by going to the orphanage she was raised at.
Okay.
And see if anybody happens to have any quote unquote children go missing. Which is, yeah.
So you want to start at the orphanage where you heard about it. Okay. No problem. And what are you using? Are you using consort? Are you stealing stuff? Are you threatening somebody?
Really, it's more, I'm thinking actually more studying. She's going to like study the building, the movements in and out, see if anybody unusual that may fit the description of, and then try to track from there.
I think that's very fair. I think that makes a lot of sense. I have to look up how to spell lacrimose. If anybody knows that off the top of their head, feel free to let me know, because that's a tough one. Oh dear.
Oh,
I got it. Lacrimose. I sent it to you. Lacrimose. Okay. So, there it is. We have so many clocks, guys. You guys are all over it. I love it.
All the clocks.
I mean, Blades in the Dark is also known as Blades in the Clocks.
Blades in the Clocks. There's a lot of shit to do. Yeah. I have to learn how to get rid of the Noble Power Map one or rename it to something else. So go ahead and roll for us, Scarlet, so I can put it how many I'm taking away.
And you said again, it doesn't really matter. Risky control.
Now you just go by the number when it comes to filling in the clocks.
Okay. Standard.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't matter.
Yeah, risky standard.
Do you have a Devil's Bargain I could maybe possibly?
Devil's Bargain.
Oh.
This early on, I don't want to hit you too hard, but I would say that they know that you're trying to find information out about them. But I feel like that might be too much for right now. What do you guys think?
It would start a clock on them hunting her. Them.
Yeah.
I do like that very much. Learning about you. So
this will start another clock. Excellent.
They will start another clock. Their clock will be smaller. They will find out information faster about you. They have a network. You do not.
The clockening.
The clockening. This is a nightmare. It's like these fucking clocks I keep track. But yeah, so that would be the only downside. I like that, Kevin.
All right, and that's one bonus.
That's one bonus die.
Here we go.
Nice.
Not bad. 5. I believe 5 fills in 2 or 3. Just 2.
2.
Okay, 2 it is. 1, 2. You see a lot of nothing. You see a lot of nothing, a lot of nobody, normal traffic, ordinary shit, and then bam, one guy in a cloak, but not super obvious. But you see him like it's just sort of like a dirty cloak, but he's obviously hiding his face. And he meets with the woman who owns the place outside in sort of like a back kind of garden area, and he's talking to her. And after he leaves again, could just be a normal person in a cloak, but as he leaves, he bows a little bit, and you're like, motherfucker, I recognize that, and you got him. So you have started being able to find him, and I'm going to make another clock for them finding you. Is there a way for me to make it just where I can see it? That would be cool.
You can put it on the GM layer.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's not a thing on here.
If you go, I don't know.
Don't worry about it. That's okay. We'll say none. I don't care. So, Lacrimose hunts Scarlet. Okay.
Just right click on the clock when it appears on the map, and you can set it to a layer, and then you can set it to the GM layer.
Ooh, I like. Ooh, it's all ghosty looking.
Yeah.
That's mine. So
Them invisible clocks.
it's a 4 o'clock. Spoiled. You already saw. So yeah, I like it. Awesome. Then is that your downtime stuff?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Neat. Gang. Then the last thing you are all doing as a team is looking into this John Irons business. And how are you doing that, Crystal?
That's a fantastic question. Does anyone have any idea as to...
Scarlet pulls out a notebook. Or no, sorry, Sparrow pulls out a notebook.
Stop telling Kay how to play your
Scarlet,
character.
pull out a notebook. She flips back and forth through the pages looking for a very specific piece of information. Slithers. Slitherers. Find the Slitherers.
Aren't they all dead?
Yeah. Where were they?
If you read the details.
The Slithers are the ones that he killed because of her.
Right.
I think I can probably dig that information up.
I would say that's not even a clock. To be perfectly honest, you can probably just find where the Slither's old hideout was. That's probably going to be pretty well known to anybody that you know, Throck, will probably know. Yeah.
Excellent.
So it's just a matter of who are you asking?
My favorite person. I don't have my character sheet in front of me,
Tyra?
but my buddy in the police department.
Oh, Jaren. Okay, so Jaren's definitely got the info for you. He's visibly nervous that you're asking him. We can cut between you guys conversating and then you guys actually implementing how you're finding this. So as you go, I have a way to find that. You probably meet with Jaren, right?
Yes.
And so his office now orderly, his face more so healed. He's looking okay. He's back to his sort of peppy, nervous self as he's writing in a book. And,
Hello. What?
Hello, Grimalkin. Come in. Shut the door.
All right.
Now, what is it you need this time?
A relatively simple question, and not dealing with any current entanglements.
Oh, good.
The hideout of the former gang. What were they called again, Kevin?
The Slithers.
The hideout of a gang that has since been destroyed, called the Slithers.
The Slither? Why do you need to know about them, Grimalkin?
Oh. We're doing some research.
Are you doing some research about a gang that was brutally murdered? Is that what you're doing research on?
It's for school.
Yes. Why is it every time I come to you for information, you, my friend, feel incredibly... What am I don't even know what I'm asking. You reacted to me like I know. No, I have one name. And that's it. I have a name.
Grimalkin,
like...
I am suspicious of all of your activities and everything that you've ever asked me to do since I have known you. Literally everything you have ever asked me to do has been shady as balls, except for that one time we went to get coffee, which was rather nice and a lovely cafe. I did like that cafe.
I will go back to that cafe. I simply want to know, what was the Slitherer's hideout? Why is
Oh,
it?
right. Okay, fine. The Slitherers were, no surprise, in Crowsfoot, and they had a small. It was actually a like winery, which is rather strange for Crowsfoot. It was like sort of a wine tasting, wine selling establishment, and they had a collection of underground vineyards where they had grapes growing underground. It was very interesting how they were able to do it. It's kind of a trade thing known for
Luminescent plants, perhaps?
Yes, actually, yes. And it appears that they have stolen a bunch of them. Anywho, besides the fact, they were in a winery, and I can give you the address here, and he gives you the address.
Excellent.
Now, do understand, do you know what happened to them?
I believe that they were brutally murdered.
Yes, it was one of the worst crime on crime violence, gang on gang violences that we've ever had, where apparently the Ironbiters and the Slitherers fought in full force. This is the official record that they fought in full force. However, somehow none of the Ironbiters died, and all of the Slitherers died, which I think is also 2 Bluecoats died in this conflict.
Well, between the magical capabilities of Two Buck Chuck and the incredible talent of John Irons, I'm frankly not surprised.
Well, Two Buck Chuck had a solid alibi and was not in the area until afterwards.
Sure.
He apparently was able to, I don't know, somehow keep John Irons from going to prison forever. It doesn't really mention any of the other Ironbiters by name. It only mentions John Irons as the chief suspect, which is odd.
No, I could see it.
Done that himself, right?
No, he could have done that himself, I think.
Oh, all
yes.
right. Well, that's the worst thing ever.
Yes, it's not great.
So it was particularly bloody and gruesome. But the wardens were quick to come and mop up the bodies, and we're fairly certain that they got all the ghosts.
Oh, fairly certain.
Fairly certain that they got all the ghosts.
Yes, it's the fairly part that it worries me the most.
You know how the wardens work.
Yes. They are always fairly certain they've gotten all the ghosts.
Yes,
but this
they are always mostly good at what they do.
Which is, frankly, when it comes to cleaning up ghosts, better than me. So I respect them for that. Yes. All right. That's really all I needed. Let's go get coffee.
All right. And he puts down his notebook right now.
Of course.
And then we cut back to you guys talking your plans.
Yeah. Well, I relate what I've learned.
Do we have a plan for the building structure?
I want to see the winery, but that's me.
You want to see the what?
If it's the underground winery, we're pretty good with underground stuff.
Yeah, because we got the maps from our lair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but and the what you call them, the wardens might not go down there. So maybe there's a ghost who knows a ghost who knows a ghost. What?
No,
like
it makes sense.
Yeah, so go ghosts.
And maybe they won't eat you. That's fine.
Why would they eat you? Just beat them. Bring the ghost cat.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I'll just stay here.
I'm thrilled. Nobody said you couldn't come.
Fine.
You really should learn to just get along. Honestly.
Charlotte's just been like petting Ember this whole time.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say she's right there, just looking dead at Sparrow.
Not making eye contact. Dumb cat.
Is the cat a boy or a girl? Okay.
say a boy. Why
I
not?
can't remember what we said later. Boy.
I don't think we actually said last time. So
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
Then he's looking at you. The way cats are very judgmental. So do you guys want to head to the winery and get some info?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not hard to find. You can get there. Now, do you want to just enter it from the front? Do you want to enter it from it doesn't there's nobody there. It's an abandoned, fucked up building at this point. So you guys can just go in however you want. How do you approach this?
I'll just walk in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So arriving at this old winery, you can see that there is the front entrance is made of like wood and stone, and you can see the remnants of like a firefight. You can see what looks like a few bullet holes through wood and stone right out here in the street. It looks like something probably happened right here. And then as you, yeah, Throck, I got you. As you enter the winery itself, you're kind of looking around, and you immediately, Chris or Ebony, immediately is sort of hit by like it's the cold of ghosts, but you don't feel an immediate ghost in the area like coming after you or anything. It is like a lot of death happened here, and you were kind of expecting that, but like as you walk in, you can almost hear screams and gunshots, and it's sort of like, whoa, you know what I mean, kind of shocks you a little bit, and you hear like just quagmire of violence, and you're kind of just, and we can take a break right there and come back to when you start digging in deep into this
I like it.
sad and haunted place. Okay, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Let's take our break now.
Okay, I'm transitioning out then. I will see you guys in a few minutes, everybody.
See you in a few minutes.
here we go. We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are a man down. Throck he's been sick for a few days, and so it finally caught up with him. So he bounced for the rest of our game, but we are going to truck on without him. So Grimalkin is going to be just hanging out with you guys and probably randomly having little quips or something.
No, he probably stayed back while the rest of us went to.
Gotta have coffee. Yeah, gotta have coffee.
Exactly.
Build that
Yeah.
power base. Gotta build that power base for us.
That's right. That's
That
right.
coffee
So-
base, what?
Yes, that coffee base. That coffee base. Next thing you know, it's welcome to Grimalkin's, and it's just a Starbucks.
Yeah,
I
pretty
love
much.
it.
He takes the deed for the restaurant and makes Grimalkins.
Yeah,
Oh, even better.
So where we left off was you guys had tracked down the information of where the old hideout for the gang, the Slitherers, were. They were in an old winery that is now since very abandoned in Crowsfoot, and you have entered trying to find information. And Chris, it was Ebony's idea to head there and try to seek out information about what happened back all those years ago between John Irons and this gang, and see if you can find any evidence or clues as to the whereabouts of John Irons's wife's ghost. John Irons's wife's ghost. Yes. So, as you guys entered, walking up to the winery, you saw that it was scarred, battle scarred, in a way. It had bullet holes in it, and some destruction to the outside, and even the grounds street on the outside. And as you entered, Ebony, you felt this is a bad place. Bad things happened here. And I think we will open up with that. With Ebony probably was the first to breach the room, I would assume, with you guys following soon behind. But as you enter, you are standing in this room, and it is chilling. It is upsetting. You know that the spiritual energies of an area is very strong when it affects you. The immediate, like the moment you walk in, you haven't even attuned to the place yet, and it's like, boom, it hurt. There's a lot of death here. So you are looking at, and forgive me, I've never been in a wine tasting place, but there are what looks like there were several tables around that are kind of destroyed, broken. There looked like there was these massive shelves that were once covered in, or filled with bottles of wine, all since ransacked and destroyed. Some of these shelves have fallen. There is a sort of a bar area, I think, in this, because I don't know how wineries work. So a bar area. Some of the stools have been ripped out, destroyed. Looks like the place was a little bit ransacked. There's a set of stairs on the left leading up to a second story. There is 2 doors near the back, one right behind the bar and one a little bit to the right-hand side. The place is pretty big. It looks like this was a big establishment. They had 30 people in their gang, so they were a pretty big gang, and they probably had a good bit of money and a good bit of pool. So you were in this dilapidated, shitty, old, destroyed winery with just the echoes of pain around you. What do you do?
I'm just gonna stand there for a minute.
I'm gonna walk in and be like, I don't like this place. Evan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check on Ember. See how Ember's reacting to all this.
So Scarlet, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
For some reason in my mind, I imagine like Scarlet doesn't give a fuck about ghosts. Like whatever, I don't know, spooky, I don't care. Like I feel like this place sucks. So because you've seen death. Death is part of your job. You're a little more familiar with it. But your cat walks and is outside on the street sniffing the ground and just kind of and like hissing at random parts of the ground, and she's sort of focusing on these two spots. He right?
Yeah,
he's focusing on these like 2 spots that he's just sort of looking at over and over again outside.
I'm gonna
Hasn't
point
even
that-
entered.
Yeah, I'm gonna point that out to Ebony and be like, hey, Ember's freaking out about something out there.
I'm gonna go out and see what he's freaking out about.
So you exit the winery, going past Sparrow. Sparrow, you stand still looking over this place. You feel these emotions too, probably not nearly as powerfully as Ebony does, but your shoulder hurts a little bit, and you're like, this is a negative place. This is a bad place. Yeah. Um, Victor, I think also you don't really feel much. You're just like, ew, spooky house. I don't know.
I mean, for him, it's just gonna be, oh look, another war zone.
Oh, you know what? That's true. Some of the bullet holes you recognize immediately. You know what I mean? You're like bullet hole, minor explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody died right there. That's old blood. You know what I mean? Like you're spotting it in an instant. You know this. Ebony walks. You walk outside to the quiet street. There aren't a whole lot of people in this area. In the Blades world, everybody is a little bit attuned to the supernatural. Everybody has the ability to attune to ghosts. Like any of you guys could like ghost power my fists and punch a ghost in the face if you want. You have to roll attune to do it. But some people are much, much better at it. Hence Ebony, who is an expert at this, and Sparrow, who can do minor things, and that cat who can do exactly what Sparrow can do. So what you but
Sparrow's best friend.
So it seems like people don't like coming here. There are plenty of places like this in the city where people are just like, nah, nah. Some places people just like to avoid. But yeah, we live in a city where ghosts eat people, so it makes sense. So, Ebony, you exit out onto the quiet street, and you see where the cat is like kind of hissing at these spots on the ground.
Do I notice anything about them?
So you go over to the two spots. You can see that it looks like there's nothing interesting about it, except you do see that there's a bullet hole in one of the spots, and you in the ground, like, and you as you look at it and you kind of touch it, you hear, you know what I mean? Like you can hear the shot. You would have to attune to like essentially see the actual echo of what happened here. But you feel somebody got shot there, and you look over at the other spot, and there is again in just a slightly different location another bullet hole in the ground.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and attune and see what I see.
Okay. Very cool. So you go ahead and roll that business.
I'm going to assume it's risky.
This is controlled.
Okay.
And I would say standard. I'll
Okay.
give you standard on that. Depending on how much info you get from it. You'll always kind of see the echoes, but depending how much juicy information you get from them determines these rolls. Okay. Mixed result. 4 is not bad. 4 is not terrible. So you do you do your thing where you sit and meditate on the area, on the spot?
I'm going to put my hand over where the bullet hole is.
Okay. So you put your hand on the one bullet hole. They are, I'm going to say they're probably close enough together that you could grab both if you kind of stretch your arms out. Okay. So you sit between them and just kind of hold. Scarlet, you watch as Ebony's just laying on the ground, touching bullet holes. But these are what whispers do. Whispers. Doing their thing.
Just like whatever.
Whatever.
More concerned about her cat than anything else.
Now that Ebony is doing this, the cat is calm and around your feet. Ebony, as you focus, you open your eyes and you look up and you see what appears to be John Irons standing directly in front of you. And for a moment, your heart goes cold. You're like, what? But you realize, I am not seeing him. I am seeing his echo. I am seeing his actions in this place in a past time. And he stands there sort of silhouetted by a fire behind him, a firelight. And you look and you see that the winery is just engulfed in flame as it's sort of all fucked up and dilapidated. And you kind of look at it and you look up at him and he looks down and you hear like begging and pleading, and you look next to you and you see there is a blue coat on the ground, and he coughs up some blood and he goes, "Please, please, we didn't know what he was going to do. I fucking swear it." And the other one's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up! Stop begging this piece of shit! Fuck you!" And he goes, "Stop fucking taunting him! Look, we didn't know, John. We didn't know." And he goes, "I don't give a fuck what he did to you, bitch, John." And you hear boom as he destroys the man that's on your right side, and your hand lets go because you don't want to feel the moment of his death. And he fucking hits there, and his echo shatters and disappears. And you see the other one goes, "Oh God, please, please, John, look, you got to understand. We didn't know what he was going to do. He just said that he just said he wanted to talk to her. He just wanted to talk to her, John." And you can see John's face obscured by his hat, and he kind of lifts his head a little bit. And you can see there's blood on his face. He himself is bleeding. He has several bullet holes in his body, and there seems to be a knife sticking out of his back as he's just standing. And he raises the gun up to him. And he goes, "Not good enough," and just blows the guy's head off on your left, and you let go. And you kind of come to, and they're all gone, and the shitty winery sits there before you.
Well, lovely.
So you learn that apparently Bluecoats helped whoever the Slitherers were kill his wife.
Yeah. Lovely. I will relay that to them with kind of a grimace on my face.
So the cat walks a little further towards the actual destroyed winery and is just staring at the doorway and just hisses at the inside of it, sort of leading you guys in. Does anybody else like to do anything?
I'm inside already, and
Okay.
I hiss back at the cat. I'll go behind the bar real quick and see if I can find like a cellar entrance or a money box or something.
Okay. You go behind
something
the bar.
that might have been harder to find than normal, that your standard scavenger would have overlooked.
Okay. You want to roll anything for this?
Yeah, I can give you a survey.
Okay.
All right. I don't feel the need to make a bargain. Standard or controlled, risky?
I would say this is controlled. Controlled, great.
Okay. I got a 6.
Nice.
Hey.
So as you look behind the bar, you're kind of looking around. A lot of destroyed shit. The fire that you saw, Ebony, didn't destroy the entirety of this place, obviously, because you guys walked in, there's still stuff. It looks like portions of it caught on fire, but since we're put out, and you're looking at sort of the bar is kind of half burnt. Looks like a fire started like along the bar. So you kind of go past that, and underneath it, it looks like there is a lockbox that was completely looted and ripped open. And you're like, shit. And as you're kind of like tapping your foot, you start tapping your foot on the floor, and you tap, and you make your way to the right, and you're like, aha. And you definitely feel that there's something under the floorboards. So you start taking the floorboards out, and you were able to find a small lockbox, slightly bigger than the lockbox that's sitting underneath the desk. Say it's probably quick and easy for you to pop that shit open, because that's your business. And inside, let's see, you find... I'm going to say you find 1 coin, and you find a ring.
I'll take a good look at this ring. I'll say, hey, I found a coin for the group. And I'll pull out the ring, and I'll be like, I don't know. This might be mine.
It is a simple gold band.
I put that on the bar.
Okay.
Anyone want to attune to the ring?
I was gonna say, perhaps Ebony should take a look at it.
I just don't like wedding rings.
Ew.
I sense commitment. I
Make sure
sense
your wife does it.
commitment. Whoa there.
Sparrow doesn't like wedding rings. I love my wedding ring, but
Aw. So, so there you found a wedding ring of some kind, a gold band. Victor, is there anything that you wanted to do in this place?
I'm gonna go completely like uh forensics on this entire place.
I was gonna say CSI.
Yeah, I'm going completely CSI on this. I'm going to completely comb this place, figure out the point of attack, how it happened, the complete path of destruction that was brought here, that sort of thing, and probably see if there's anything that can tell us like what John Irons is capable of, and in terms of being able to learn how to combat against that.
Yeah, I want to go.
like
I was gonna say I was gonna do something similar, so I'll super help on that.
Okay,
Cool.
so I get help, so that's I get extra
Yeah.
die from that. That's probably good. So my question is, so I feel in this instance that because I'm dealing with learning, I'm trying to internalize all the level of destruction and everything. I feel like wreck is an appropriate one here, because I'm trying to figure out like how the level of demolition and destruction
Yes.
is applied. So
I like that, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And this place was, like I said, this was like it was like a mini war zone. What
Mhm.
happened here? So I think that's very fair. And did you want to help him with that, Scarlet, or did you want to roll your own?
well, it's gonna be if it's like a assist from a team, I get an extra die for that.
Oh, okay. You want to do that?
Yep, and I am also going to take 2 stress pushing myself to get the extra die as well. Risky or controlled?
I would say this is controlled because you
Okay.
guys are analyzing right now. This is
Mhm.
more a story that you are learning.
Okay.
So I would say controlled. Controlled, great because
Great?
you learned something. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna add 2 bonus die to this roll, so that's 4 die for wreck. Let's see what I get. I get a 6 in there.
Okay, very good. I was looking for it. I was like, uh-oh.
There should. I was like, there better be at least 1 6 in this.
So, what? How do you go about this? Like, what are you analyzing? Are you, how does
So-
Victor do this?
So
Like,
so
art?
Victor's instinctively like mentally already thinking back to like he has this sudden you have like you I will say since the Sparrow's the only one in there, like Victor goes quiet and his steps go quiet, and he's basically looking at the point of entry, starts from the point of entry of the attack, and then and just starts taking gentle steps, looking at every scans the room very slowly and seems to be following a path. And it seems to be this kind of direct path of where whoever was leading this charge, this assault, there was a definitive path of destruction that went behind them, and I can trace the plan of attack, what was used. And there's even moments where I'll take out from my one of my little kits. I'll pull out a few little bits. I'll try to scrape some things and filings into a little tube and put that away. I'll sniff the wood. I will even start looking at the degree of burn marks. Look at the circumference. Look at the bullet holes and other degrees of like see where the splinters went. And
I like it. You were almost following in his footsteps, in the footsteps of the destroyer in this case, who came through and was killing people. You're following. Yeah, I like that. And as you do, you can almost see what he was doing in a way, or rather the aftermath of it. And what you're seeing is the burn marks, right? Those were chaotic at first, it seems, because they're just placed wherever, but you realize this is where lanterns were. There were lit oil lanterns here, and he was just fucking firing at them and making sure that he hits these lanterns that just spewed this or whatever they use for oil in this place. I don't know if they use oil in this city. I'd have to look
yeah,
up.
it'll be the Leviathan oil.
So it's Leviathan blood lanterns that he is fucking blowing up and shooting. He was making sure that he was using his environment to his advantage, spattering, and you can almost see that where like some of the fire was, it couldn't have possibly gotten there on its own. And you kind of imagine, again, from your war times, a man on fire just running, slamming into a wall and falling down, and that's where that scorch came from. You know what I mean? You see another one like going up the stairs. So he was catching people on fire with these oil lanterns and lighting the area on fire to create more havoc to buy him more time. Scarlet, the bullet holes. What you are noticing as you walk around, bullets are your thing. This is like your shit. And as you see a lot of these bullet holes, they are a little higher, just a little bit higher than head level, because he was aiming like, and the bullets would enter in and pop out just a little bit higher, or sometimes they bounce off the skull a little bit and get warped and fire out and jam into a wall. These are the ones that went through the heads. He was shooting people in the head a lot. Other than that, he was going dead center for the chest, and he was hitting them most likely in the heart or puncturing their lungs. He basically was going for stopping power. He didn't come in here to hurt people. He came in here to kill everybody. And that's what these shots are. From what you're gathering by this and by the remnants of bloodstains on the wall, the old bloodstains, this man is very, very precise with his chaos. You know what I mean? This destruction is not wanton. He knows exactly where those bullets are going, and he's putting them there. What I could say from both of you too is that whoever did this, you know who did it, but when he came through here and did this, he has 2 6-guns. He only gets 12 shots. He reloads fast as a motherfucker, because these other men, there are different caliber bullets that are closer to like your guys' double pistols. Those were also being used, obviously, against him. Some of which you can tell hit, some of which you could tell, most of which just missed wide in the terror. And that's, again, what goes back to the fire. He was using it to scare people so that they would get nervous with their aiming. You can see that this place, when he came in here and did what he did, he came to scare the shit out of everybody, but not to make them learn a lesson, but to make sure that he had the edge to kill everybody here. And those little microseconds are all he needed to line up shots and put bullets between eyes. You can see that some of the devastation continues upstairs a little bit further. But yeah, from what you're gathering right here, he is precise and he is tactical. When he comes, this man is like a killer. You probably, Victor, haven't seen someone of this skill since the war. When you found like people, some of the people you would have to deal with were like very, very dangerous, and you know that they were people you never wanted to be in the same room as. That's why you blew them up with bombs because you're like, nope, I'm gonna be away from that, because there are people who are just so good at this. So yeah, that's what you guys learn. Ebony,
yeah,
there is the ring on the table. There is the main room itself. There is upstairs, and there's those 2 other doorways.
I'm going to take a look at the ring.
Okay. You walk across the wooden floor, kind of echoing in this place. As you do, you walk and you step on like an old blood spatter. And for just a second, you continue walking, but for a second, you hear no, and you're just like, like, because it just kind of shoots into your head. It's not so much like, oh no, I'm scared. It's more like, oh, like it just surprises you. The echoes are so powerful here and potent. You walk and you find the ring, and you're going to attune to the ring to see what story it has.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to? Are you able to help with things like this, Sparrow?
I can attune. It's something that I would have probably spent more time around than others.
Okay.
So I would probably be able to do something that helps focus.
Okay.
So I'll say I will with my knife carve some symbols and a circle around the ring, and then some symbols around the edges of it, all bleeding outwards. It's not like a circle with runes coming around it. It's a circle with runes connecting into the circle.
I like it. You're focusing the energy on it.
Yeah. And I will tap with my knife in a perfect, steady pace to help.
You're like one of those
metronomes.
Oh, very cool. So
I'll tap with the mask to do it, actually.
Oh, I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Ebony, you see Sparrow is no rookie when it comes to this shit. Sparrow knows what she's doing.
Take the stress.
Oh God.
just more stress.
You can survive this one.
Okay. So there lies the ring in this circle, this magical sort of circle, as Sparrow is assisting.
And I will nod to Sparrow and place one finger on it as I click a tune.
Okay, you're gonna get an extra dice for this.
Okay.
So you can roll them and add a dice.
All right.
Which I believe it comes up in modifier, right? You guys hit one.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna roll.
Yep. And is this controlled, risky?
I would say this is risky. This is risky.
Okay.
So risky, great.
Okay.
This could hurt.
One. I got a 6.
Okie dokie. So here's what we get with the ring. You touch it. You are no longer in the bar or the winery, rather. You are in this dusty wasteland. Nothing but you, this desert that you're looking at, these old dried shrubs, and Sparrow clicking the mask. Sparrow, you are not seeing this. You kind of have your eyes closed because it would distract if you were linked into this. But you see Sparrow there. You turn around and you see nothing for miles. Just this wasteland, this desert. And you swear that in the distance you can see what looks like destroyed, crumpled buildings off in the distance. And it's a bizarre place. And some wind blows the dust around, and you hear, well, come on. And you turn around suddenly, and you see a younger looking John Irons, as he seems to be loading up a odd looking creature. I don't know if you have horses in Tycheros. I'm going to say you don't, just cuz. But it's this weird creature with a long face and 4 goofy, lanky legs. Never seen it before. But John Irons is loading some sort of seat onto it, as well as these bags on the sides. And it seems to be attached to a small a wagon of some sort. And as you're standing there kind of looking at him, it looks like he's looking at you, and he goes, come on. And you feel like a bump, and what goes right past you is a small child just kind of bumping your arm. And she runs over, it's a little girl, she runs over, and she raises her arms to him, and he goes, come on, you're big enough. And she goes, nope. And she claps her hands, he goes, all right. And he picks her up, and he puts her on the wagon, and he kind of rests, and you hear a woman speaking to him. And you turn where the girl came from, the woman comes from as well, seemingly from this nothingness, from this wasteland. And she says, well, aren't you two just pretty as a picture? And she was walking over. You kind of turn just as she walks past you. You only get sort of a side glimpse of her face, but she is beautiful. A woman of the same sort of skin tone as Sparrow. And you're thinking maybe Sparrow comes from this place. They look like the same sort of race or whatever. Severosi. And as she walks by, she's wearing a common dress, not outlandishly beautiful, but she herself is very, very pretty. And she walks over, grabs John Irons' hands, gives him a kiss, and says, all right, get on the wagon. And he goes, the hell, I'm driving. And she goes, the hell you are, you almost crashed last time, come on. And he's like, all right. And he goes and gets on the back, and you see him pull out like a rifle and just kind of sit with it like he's on guard duty. And she sits on the horse and just, y'all ready? And he goes, yeah, what'd you think? And the little girl just is like, yeah. And he goes, all right, let's go. And she goes, okay. And as she goes to kind of the horse a little bit, like with the stirrup things or whatever, you hear boom, boom, boom. And suddenly you are looking at the same woman as she's laying on the ground on a cold stone floor, not the floor that you're standing on currently. This beautiful woman, as she is just coughing up blood and staring wide-eyed up at someone, and you can see that someone, it's almost like you're looking through his eyes, and he holds this ring in his hand, as his hands sort of have blood on them. And he just, you should have taken my offer. And he just slips the ring in his pocket. And she just sort of coughs and looks at him with just like hate in her eyes. And you see him load up one of the small, 2-shot pistols as she has 2 bullet holes sort of in her chest. You can tell her lungs are punctured. And he clicks it, points it at her head, and she goes, fuck you. And you wake back up. Because you got a success, it did not hurt you. But you were very connected to this. You felt these 2 cold spots in your chest where her bullet holes were. But you did not receive any damage by connecting to her spirit in this way. That item is very specific and special to her, obviously. But you assume that you just saw John Irons' wife die.
Do I recognize the voice?
No. That man's voice, you have no idea who that was. But she was killed on a cold stone floor, and you are not currently on a cold stone floor.
Okay. I will relay what I saw.
Okay.
We hold on to the...
Yeah.
To the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Very much.
Okay. So, there is still the upstairs. There is still 2 doorways. One behind the bar and one to the right of the bar.
I want to see the winery.
Yeah, where
Same.
they grew all the.
Where they grow? Okay.
Uh,
A little bit of checking doors. You see that the one door that's to the right goes to like rooms, and the other one leads downstairs. There is just obvious steps going down, and they are of cut stone.
I will put the mask on.
I pull out a lantern.
Okay, as you pull on the lantern, and I think that's like a neat shot. I think a Sparrow putting on the mask as Victor, lights the lantern, and you see this sort of chasm going down, and you almost feel this sort of negative feelings emanate from it. You can see what appears to be one old kind of bloody handprint going down the wall. And it looks like on these cold stone, because the weather can't really get in here, there seems to be old, like, blackened dry blood on the stairs going down. Someone died on the way down, it appears, in the rabble. So, as you guys walk, you all just head down together? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
As you guys make your way down, you kind of steady yourself along the wall. The steps are sort of steep, and as you graze past the blood stains, Ebony, you can hear he's coming, boss. You got to get that. As you hear, and down the stairs. So again, more gunshots, more destruction of John Irons ripping his way through this place. You go down the stairs further. It's almost like 2 flights down, just straight down. So it's pretty far. And you finally reach sort of a resting area, which kind of opens to this large room. Just a large rectangular room that stretches a good bit back. You can see that it looks like there were growers, little like planters in this spot. Large ones that rise up maybe like 2 feet and are full of dirt and old, dead, dried vines. There is no radiant plants down here of any kind. There is no light except for Victor's lantern. So whatever radiant plants were down here were destroyed or stolen. Because they are pretty precious. So, you have this room before you. Seems ordinary, empty. Feels terrible. What would you like to do?
Ebony's just gonna keep looking around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a group action, so yeah, whoever wants to lead the group action.
Yeah, who's got the best, like, survey or study?
I
I've got a study of survey of 2.
I've got
I
a
got a
study
surveyor
of two.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to. Don't let me tell you. Like,
Yeah.
use whatever you guys think is the best ability. How would your characters investigate this room and find clues in this sort of empty, vineyardy room?
Well, the way Sparrow works is she cases the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. And
Okay.
I feel like we would all probably do similar actions then. Touch
Okay,
the
so
walls,
just-
touch the, look and see if anything's loose.
Cool. I like it. All right, do it up.
So, yeah, Sparrow, go.
Risky standard? Or
Controlled. Controlled, great.
4.
Mixed success. As you make your way, again, very dark. But can any of you guys see in the dark? Is that like a thing that you characters can do?
I
feel
don't
like-
think I rolled for dark vision. No, I'm kidding.
That's what the lantern. That's why I brought the lantern with me this time
This does
in my
not-
load.
As a
no,
half
does
elf.
not include dark vision. No.
So as you guys are
I'm a
looking around,
dragonborn. I don't get dark vision for whatever reason.
Victor's probably staying pretty close to you with the lantern so you can see as you're making your way through. I feel like Ebony is just sort of walking in the dark because, I don't know, I just get that vibe from her.
Yeah.
Like she's just sort of feeling it, like spooky. Just in-
Actually,
yes.
I use one of the items from my loadout, which is dark sight goggles.
Ooh.
Okay, so you put on these goggles and suddenly you can see. Victor's light is actually a bit of a hindrance. And,
So at that point, I guess.
Yeah, I get in front of him.
and as you look around, you notice that there is, like along the left-hand wall, there is sort of a cut that leads to a room. Now, this room that you're in, that's just one of the things you notice. This room that you're in right now, you can see what appears to be another blood stain, large blood stain on the ground. And as you look at it, you can see that the blood spatter was on the wall. You see a bullet hole in the wall, one, again, precise. And you kind of step over that. And as you look, there's another blood stain in the far end of the room, another bullet hole right in the stone. Again, all cold stone. Ebony, this is the same kind of stone that she died on. This is definitely the same, at least area. There doesn't seem to be much of interest, except it looks like some of the planters have been ripped up. Again, maybe scavengers, maybe the blue coats, not sure. Somebody took those radiant plants, but left the grapes. And the cut to the room on your left, as you enter, you can see that it leads to what was sort of like an office. It looks like there is like it's sort of jarring and bizarre to see, but it's a rather large-sized room. And it's cut more flat and evenly, but it's still cold, stone. And there is this big old desk sitting there. There is a nice big chair. Again, now it's moldy and sort of mildewy, but there it is, a desk. So it looks like someone would sit down here and monitor the vineyard, which was, a way that they made their money. It looks like the desk has been sort of ransacked a little bit. The chair is even ripped open, like someone ripped open the cushions, check what's inside. But as you enter this area, you can see what appears to be a large blood stain on the ground, as well as the desk itself is soaked. The wood is soaked through with blood on the top of it. Ebony, as you enter this, who's holding the ring?
I am.
Okay, as you enter, you feel the ring get like ice cold as you enter this room. It almost hurts to hold, but you are good at this. This is something you're okay with. Wouldn't hurt you because you're the Whisper. And so, yeah, so that's what you see in this room. This room, your ghost radar is going off, or your bad stuff radar is going off.
Your ghosty senses are tingling.
Yes. Well, what do we do about this room?
The desk looks too heavy to take home.
It's also soaked with old blood.
That's what makes it cool.
It can come out.
That's
refurnish it.
they call that
Pardon the charm.
vintage.
We'll call it a finish.
Pain.
It's a stain. Yes.
But I will spend time looking at the obviously rifled through desk, probably not finding any secret compartments. But
Okay.
Sparrow's doing.
You know what? No, Sparrow's awesome. So go ahead and roll. And let's see if you get something, because Sparrow knows how to look at things better than regular looters do, or bluecoats, who were probably the ones that robbed the place, to be honest.
Let's see.
I don't think wardens loot.
That would actually be a study, and it's not something I'm actually very good at. And I'm not going to push myself to do it. So no, sit on the desk.
Okay, you just sit on the desk.
Yeah, and I go. Someone else want to have a look at it?
I'm gonna actually tap around the walls of this room, see if there's a false wall.
Okay. Oh, I like it.
Nice.
You're D&D thinking right now, and I like it. I kind of love it. Go ahead. We were in a dungeon essentially, so.
Yeah, I mean we are technically in a dungeon.
Yeah. It was close to dungeon if you get with blades.
Yeah. I want to see, because since I'm looking for a wall that's if it is a false wall, that means there's probably a structural weakness to it. So, I'm trying to see if rec would be appropriate here or survey.
Either one.
Okay, we'll go with rec. It's all about me knowing where the weak spots are, so I can blow it up. Because controlled or risky.
Let's do risky.
Okay.
Risky great.
Oh, risky great. Oh boy,
this is find something cool, but
collapse the whole room. Great.
But
I mean, it'll be fine, right?
It'll be fine. I'll survive.
It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Sparrow will always survive. So
yeah. What the hey? I'll go ahead and push myself for that extra die.
Okay.
I haven't taken a whole lot of stress in a long time, so I have some room to spare.
Yeah, some people's indulging their vices works.
Yeah. I got
success.
I got it's a big success.
So as you're kind of feeling the wall, you feel behind the desk at a lower right-hand corner, you feel that there is sort of a looser kind of brick. You can't get it out, but you can definitely knock it a little bit and kind of knock it loose in order for you to get what you need.
Okay.
So, you guys watch as Victor is sort of in an area, takes out a hammer, and he just starts tink, 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 and hitting the stone over and over again as this brick kind of starts moving, and you're like, all right. And as you do, you see that there is something back there, and it looks like this stone used to be able to move very easily, but in the age and in just not being moved in a while, it's now kind of corroded here. So as you're kind of whacking it out of place, you see this sort of small, looks like some sort of small book behind this stone, and you're kind of whacking it. And as you knock the brick loose, you're able to get the book, and you're like, all right. And some of the wall kind of, the bricks sort of give way, and one of the bricks falls and just whacks you on the top of the head. And you take 2 damage for you have 2 harm by being bludgeoned to the top of the head.
Okay, so I have a mild concussion then.
You can resist it and bring it down to 1.
Okay, I'll resist it. I will try.
That costs stress.
It costs stress to resist.
6 stress. Roll the resistance die.
You roll your resistance die and subtract it.
So it takes 6. So wait, how many stress does it take for me?
So you start with 6 stress for resisting damage, right?
Oh, right, okay.
Then you will roll the resistance die, and you'll minus whatever you get from the resistance die from that 6. So if you roll 6, you're good.
Okay, so we'll go with prowess to resist.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with prowess to resist.
We just take the highest number of that roll.
Okay, this can't, and I got a 5.
You take 1 stress because you're like, mother, and you just kind of instead of being 2 harm and being like, oh my god, it's just sort of it hurt a lot.
There's a moment where you all hear Victor cursing in Skovlin, just very angrily.
It's echoing through the chamber. of the spooky dungeon.
Here, anybody who can read better.
I'll grab the book.
A little hard to read in the dark.
Put back
Ebony,
the lantern.
I don't want to be in this room much longer.
Yeah, that's fair. Ebony is going to, not particularly willingly, but she's going to go ahead and attune to the spot with the blood.
Okay. Very well. It's kind of the whole room, I guess.
Yeah.
The floor and the desk. Were you saying something, Kay?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since Sparrow had actually brought up, hey, anybody want to check out the desk? I was gonna want to check out, see if there was anything hidden.
Okay, you go ahead and roll whatever you would roll for that, while and Ebony, you go ahead and roll whatever you're gonna roll to attune to this, if it's attune or if it's whatever.
Yeah.
2 stress to get an extra dice.
Yep.
Sure, you can absolutely do so.
Sure, why not?
So many reasons why.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why not, but well.
I legit had like 1 stress. I think I'll survive. So
yeah, I started this session with only 3 stress. I was like, yeah, I could take a few stress.
Risky or controlled?
Controlled. Controlled, great.
All right.
Because of what I put in there.
And for my roll,
your roll.
I got a 6.
Your roll is risky again. Okay. And great.
Okay.
Because you'll see a few things if you get it. All right. So first, before you jump into your crazy journey, Ebony, Scarlet goes over to the desk, and you look at it, and you look under the desk, and you just whack the top of the desk, and from underneath comes like one of those false bottoms, and in it is a small 2-shot pistol. So you have an extra pistol if you want. With your holdout ensemble, you can now carry 2 pistols with you, and people can't tell.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. Why not?
Anybody want to offer me a devil's bargain to put an extra dice on this?
Oh.
I got a lot of stress.
I was okay. I mean, I can.
Well, no, devil's bargain, not assist.
Yeah,
a devil's bargain.
Yeah. So I will say for a double.
Oh God, I have a bad one.
Go for it.
No,
go for it.
You do.
I was going for the fact that since there's so many dead bodies in here, that they all like possess Ebony and relive their entire final moments through her.
Okay, so maybe mine isn't that bad.
Damn, bro, I love it. I love it.
Well, mine is she falls in love with John Irons.
Oh, never mind what I said. Sheesh.
Because she's getting the sympathetic emotions of his wife, essentially.
Not like fully like a charm spell, but like
he's feeling the love that his wife felt for him.
Yeah, so it kind of bleeds over.
I love both of them from a narrative standpoint. They both sound so much fun.
Well, it's Crystal's call in the end. Yeah,
because you can choose to accept or ignore any of them. You don't need to take any of the devil's bargain.
I know.
So either I run you through a montage of now granted, you will see what John Irons did here, but it will be wrath and death. Or you
well, we get to see it too.
become enamored by John Irons. You can't help but feel the love that his wife felt for him. This is the risk it goes.
Given the scene earlier with the wife and the kid, I was already kind of going, oh no, they're cute.
He's not.
So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
I love it. Okay.
Good story. It's good story.
It is good story. This is going to be very interesting. All right. So go ahead. What did we roll here?
Is that with the extra dice from the Devil's Bargain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, it's risky for a reason. So here's what happens. How do you do this? You sit down again? touching.
No, I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to stay standing for this one.
Okay. So you stand, kind of focus, and you don't see John Ironson's wife on the ground. You see her blood drying, and you see a man standing there. He's a thin, kind of lithe man. He is wearing almost kind of dressed like Grimalkin, where he's like in nice-ish clothes. You know, like Grimalkin wears like nice clothes. This guy's got suspenders instead of like Grimalkin's nice vest, and he's got sort of like a nice button-up shirt that's buttoned all the way to the top. And he has some fine rings on his left hand, not on his right. And as he's standing there, he's talking to one of his like underlings that you recognize as the one who died down the stairs. This is obviously before the destruction. And he sits there and he goes, so has he arrived yet? And it's the same voice as the man who held the ring in his hand. This is the man that kills John Ironson's wife. And you can see the blood still on the ground and blood on his hands. He has recently killed him. And his underling goes, he's right upstairs, so you want me to bring him down? Yeah, bring him down. And you look behind you as the man walks and you see the vineyard glowing, beautiful. These grapes, vibrant, the radiant, the flowers full of radiant light are sort of on top of stalks, sort of showering in the area in this light blue glow. And it's gorgeous. It's breathtaking. And the vines are so lush and fresh. The grapes, beautiful. And you can see that there is someone picking them and putting them in a basket. Very gingerly and checking each one, as there's not many, so the harvest has to be good. A few short minutes after the man goes up, I'm going to say while they're gone, this man is standing there alone, just against the desk, and he's looking at the blood on the ground, and you can feel an intense sorrow come from this man, the man who ruthlessly gunned down the wife. And he goes, why didn't you just say yes? And he's kind of holding his head and sitting back, and he's like, you should have just said yes, Swan. You should have just said yes. And he says Swan, as if that is her name, perhaps, or a nickname. And he's kind of wiping his eyes a little bit. And down the stairs comes the henchman and another man, kind of heavy set, a very dark skin, bald head, very nice clothes, very well dressed, too nice for crow's foot. This man is a noble. You know nobility when you see it, and that is a noble. And he comes down. He has a large bodyguard with him, a grizzly, tough-looking man. And they both come walking over, and the large, dark-skinned noble man walks to where this thin killer is. And he goes, now then, Mr. Meek, is it? Pleasure to see you and meet your slitherers. Disgusting name, but I guess I can't blame you. You live in a disgusting place. So, where is the merchandise? And he, Meek, the man who killed John Irons' wife, the leader of the Slitherers, stands there. She's upstairs. We put her upstairs. Her ghost should be popping out sometime soon, I guess. Whatever the fuck you do with that, I don't know. He goes, that is excellent. Well then, gentlemen, if I get what I desire, then you are going to be very rich men. And you see this man go upstairs, and you see Meek kind of rest against the desk and kind of, and then there's sort of a cut, like static in the energy, and you see there's blood on the walls. You hear someone gasping their last breaths in the vineyard behind you. You look, and you can see what appears to be someone against the wall, just again, obviously shot by John Irons. They are bleeding and breathing their last breaths. The vineyard, the grapes are spattered with blood. Blood has gotten on the radiant flowers, and now they are glowing a red because the light is shining through the blood that is caked on them. The room is red and has writhing and dead bodies in it. The man at the bottom of the stairs, you can see someone has shot right through his head. The man bleeding to death on the side, and another man just laying lifeless to your left. And you hear a noise behind you. You look again. You're looking in the office, and you can see what appears to be John Irons holding Meek, the man who is the leader of the Slithers, against the desk. This is obviously the same day that this all happened. Meek is still in the same, state that he was. And he's like, and you can see he is stabbing John Irons in the stomach. And John Irons is just looking at him, choking him. And John Irons grabs his hand, breaks it. Meek screams as he just gives up. John Irons pulls this small sort of stiletto out of his stomach and throws it to the side. And he pulls out a big fucking Bowie knife from under his jacket. And he goes, the man is telling him like, do it, just fucking do it, you fucking punk. Like, you're gonna kill me, just do it. And he goes, John Irons, in the very few words that he speaks, simply says, nah, you die slow. And he begins to gut this man like a deer. And it is horrific to behold and horrific to feel, as you feel the pain and the agony that this man felt in his last moments. And you take 2 harm. It is not true and physical, but your body felt it, and your mind feels as though you are being split open. You can resist it just as Victor did, but the pain is horrific, and it shocks you out of your vision, and you find yourself on the floor, gripping your stomach, and just kind of looking around like, whoa, I'm out. Okay.
Okay, then.
You feel extremely exhausted. Did you want to resist that harm and bring it down to 1?
No,
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay. But the information that you've gotten is that Meek, the leader, called John's wife Swan, which names like that are sometimes common in Severosi. Sometimes people are, especially when they live out in the wild, and there's all different cultures in Severosi, and sometimes their names are a little odd to the people of Duskfall. Or, well, you're Tigerosi, so do you too. And there was some man who came for her ghost.
I will relay that to them.
I'll help.
We should go back to the bar.
We should go upstairs.
Yeah, we still need to go upstairs, but maybe.
No, we stick together. And I will help Ebony up, put an arm under her, and.
Yeah, you recognize that she was hurt by this.
That she
the
saw
rest of
some
you
violence.
Probably can't even see it. Ebony holds herself very properly too, as I would assume you do. Right? But yeah, you could probably definitely notice it.
Yeah, I think if Ebony needs help, I'll give her my shoulder.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
We should go upstairs.
Okay.
Could you draw a picture of the noble?
Me?
Or I'm asking Ebony because she's.
Oh, I was like, right now?
Yes, Evan, now.
10 minutes.
Yes.
You got 10 minutes before the stream ends.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
All right, but I kind of want to check upstairs.
Why If you need to, you can stay on the ground floor. Scarlet and I can take a look.
Let's split the party. All right.
I mean, nothing bad could possibly happen.
What Victor? I didn't quite hear you.
I was saying that Scarlet and Victor can go upstairs, and if Sparrow wants to attend to Ebony.
I think we might need to see upstairs.
All right. That's fair.
All right, let's go.
Ebony, you don't have to do this. I can do it for you.
It's fine. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys make your way upstairs. As you walk through the main room, Ebony, you have been attuning a good couple of times in this area, and the place is starting to reach back. So as you make your way up out of the basement, you see the winery in perfect state. The tables are clean, they are upright, the floor is fine. You still see Sparrow and everybody walking with you, but you were walking through a beautiful winery. There are people meandering, but they seem like fuzzy. You can't see their faces. It's almost like they are echoes of who they were. There is color to the winery itself, but not color to the people. And there is music. There is someone singing beautifully. And you look around to find it, and you see that standing on just like a little platform that they put out for her is John's wife. Singing. She is well dressed, and she is singing in this place. Obviously, this is before everything happened. She is in full color. She looks like just a person, not a ghost. As she is singing to these people as they all listen. And her voice is beautiful. And as you kind of look around the faces that are not phased out, one of which is the nobleman, as he is sitting at a far table watching with just bliss on his face. And behind the bar, you can see Meek as he's sitting there with a very recognizable look of just passion in his eyes. He is enamored by her. And you know, again, a little shuddered by this, most likely. And you can see that resting against the door frame to the outside is John Irons, as he is just listening. Please. A glimpse of a better time. And you blink and it's gone.
I will continue on.
Okay. You make your way up the stairs, this destroyed, dilapidated place. Victor stops you before you step on a piece of wood that's just going to completely give way. And you guys make your way up. There are only 3 rooms up here, one of which is collapsed. It looks like one of the bit of fire got out of hand and the roof collapsed in on it. And there's just 2 rooms available to you.
One at a time or both?
You pick
one at a time.
All right. We'll go for the closest one to the staircase first.
Okay. So you go to the closest one, and it is looks like a small office kind of room, with like a nice couch on it, and it looks like a place where Meek did business publicly. You know what I mean, and with people. This is his office. There's another desk there. Some old destroyed shelves, all kinds of stuff. The couch is ripped apart. The desk is ransacked as it was before. And you walk in. There does appear to be 2 bullet holes in the door and another blood stain on the floor itself. So someone else died up here in the madness. So you can attune to this, or do you want to check out the other room first?
Don't. This is not going to be it.
No.
No.
Let's take a look at the other room.
Scarlet, if you want to take a look and see if you can find anything in here, we'll go into the other room.
Yeah. She'll go ahead and take a look.
Just in the room itself? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would you roll?
Probably I would say study.
Okay, yeah. This guy tends to hide shit. He was sneaky. So yeah, and you've already seen some of these hiding spots before, so you're kind of learning the way that this guy would hide his stuff. Sort of in plain sight, but not really.
Right. Still controlled?
I would say controlled for you, yes, because there's no immediate. It's not booby trapped, so you're good.
Well done.
Or is it?
Oh no.
No, you're good.
Standard.
Standard, yeah, for this one. You do find another false bottom in this desk, but whatever was in there has already been taken.
Those assholes.
Yeah. But you found it. There's nothing there.
Yay.
Yay. So the second room that you guys enter is a bedroom. And it was probably where Meek would sleep. He probably lived here, I guess. And
we would have put her on the bed.
There is no blood in this. No, that is not true. Yes, that is true, because the mattress and the sheets are gone. There is just a bed frame.
Well, if you think this is a place you want to look.
What'd you say, Victor?
I said, do you think this is a place for you to look? Ebony.
Sparrow, can you look?
Absolutely. And I secured the mask. I get into a sitting on the floor position. I once again carve a circle around myself with the knife.
Okay.
Take a moment to put a couple of different figures around it. Place the knife like directly on my palm so like it could spin or something.
Okay, cool.
And begin a trance. What's the devil's bargain?
Okay. The devil's bargain for this one. Shit, man. The devil's bargain for this is.
Oh God.
See, I already did the hurt you thing.
No, I've got one.
Oh, you got one yourself? What? I don't know. It's tough.
The resonance will ring for the noble.
Oh.
You'll know
Noble will feel something.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Oh,
I do
that's
love
so
that.
good and
Like
so
that.
terrible for us, but so good.
You take that devil's bargain that you just made yourself because you like to punish yourself?
No, it's because it's good for the story.
It is good for the story.
Look, we're here for the story here, okay? We're not here for what's good for us.
Of course not.
I'll ask Ebony to assist me as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't mind spending the stress, I'll...
Well, if she can't spend the stress, I have arcane components to help with this ritual.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well, then I'll take it from you then.
Yeah, so I'll take the one stress. It's fine. I'm literally one tick away from filling up stress. It's fine.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'll take hers.
No, I'll take it. Don't worry. I have to indulge my vice next turn around anyways.
We
it's fine.
all do.
Look, there's gonna be a lot of vice indulgence next session, folks. So just be wary for next week. It's a lot of indulgence next week, okay?
Paying indulgences. Oh God. I will take it from Ebony because she is skilled. If she's willing to offer it. If not, I will take it.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, I have Ebony stand in the circle and put a hand on my shoulder.
Okay.
All right.
As I sit.
Still kind of wounded, I would assume, but yes.
And I will take the bargain.
Okay.
Okay. Click attune. Where's my box? There it is. Position.
Risky.
Okay.
Great. Risky and great effect.
2 bonus dice for a total of 3. 5, 4, 5.
Oh, just nothing but mixed results. Oh,
Fine with
jeez.
that. I am fine with that.
So, here's what happens. You focus. What you see before you is this room, and laying on the bed is the dead body of John Iron's wife. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. She is laying lifeless and still. You hear talking, a little bit of laughter coming up the stairs in the familiar voice of the noble, which is kind of odd to feel and hear while looking at a dead body.
Yeah.
The door opens, and in walks the jolly form of the nobleman. He comes in, and he is putting on gloves, these fine white gloves, not surgical gloves, just fine, like driving gloves, sort of.
Silk. They're made of silk.
Ooh.
Are they made of silk, or are they alchemist's gloves from Full Metal Alchemist?
I mean,
I was imagining the white of that, you know what I mean? And their sort of texture, but I also like silk. He would probably wear silk, to be honest.
Old French nobles used to wear silk white gloves.
Yeah, there you go.
I own a pair, I know.
So he puts it on and comes over. This large, the large like man who's with him, his security, just waits by the door, and he goes, oh, hold on, oh shit, I gotta remember his name. Give me 2 seconds. And he goes, Mr. Terse, you can wait outside. And he goes, absolutely, Mr. Wellington. And he shuts the door on his security, whose name is Mr. Terse. And Mr. Wellington walks over to the edge of the bed and looks at the body. Oh, my dear. Such beauty wasted. Ah, these young lovers in their spats, eh? Oh, well. Do not worry. I will not let your talents go to waste. No, no. I know true beauty when I see it, and you, my dear, you are true beauty. So, I have come to save you. Very soon, the wardens, or, let's be honest, your husband, are going to come here and wreak all sorts of havoc. I am going to ensure that they do not get you. You're welcome. Now then, let us begin. And he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a spirit bottle, which you recognize. And he places it on one of the stands for the bed, perfectly balanced. And he stands there and he begins to sort of chant. And he stops. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small book. And he starts reading from the book. And he starts chanting in a language you don't understand. And as he's chanting, you can see the body start to convulse a little bit. And her mouth and from her mouth rises her soul. He has coaxed the soul out of the body sooner than it was supposed to be. So the wardens didn't have a chance to find him. Out comes Swan's soul. And she rises up. She looks scared. She looks hurt and cold as she's sort of gripping herself. And she looks around and he goes, do not be afraid, my dear. I am Terence Wellington III, and I am here to rescue. And she tries to fly out the window, and he says one word, and she bounces back from the glass. And he goes, there are 2 entrances and exits to this room, my dear, and they are both locked. Now then, if you struggle, it will only make it hurt worse. And he begins to speak from the book, as you can see her being pulled into the bottle, and she's screaming and crying and tearing at her own, trying to grab her own body, and she's ripping at the sheets, and you see her fingers kind of become claws in the way that ghosts can sort of animal, like becomes more predatory. And she lunges for him, and he just sort of stands there as she gets like this close, and he goes, oh, no, in you go. And she and is screaming as she's sucked into the bottle, and he caps it like nothing, puts it away, pats his pocket, and goes, oh, I'm going to get the hell out of here. And he opens the door and goes, come, Mr. Terrence, we are done here. Yes, Mr. Wellington. And they make their way out as he goes, I'm hungry, Terrence. Are you hungry? As they begin to walk down the stairs. It cuts again, and suddenly there is smoke. The room next to you is like on fire a little bit. You hear the heavy footsteps of John Irons' boots. You hear boom, boom, another man die right next door. You see going past the door that the room that you're in, another guy going, no, John, look, we knew you were right. We was mates. Well, remember, I got you a couple of beers for free over next door, and I was always nice to her, John. I was always nice to her. I didn't want this to happen. And John grabs him and throws him into the room that's on fire and just stands there and listens to him scream. John walks away, comes to the room that you are sitting in. He looks to the left. He sees the body of his wife. He walks right past you both, and he stands over the bed. And he goes to touch her body and can't do it. He can't bring himself to do it. And he takes out his gun, and he waits. And he's waiting. He's waiting for her soul to come out. And he looks outside, and he starts to panic a little bit. And he leans over, and he kisses the top of her head, still caked in blood. And he rises up. You still see a knife sticking out of his back, bullet holes in him, bleeding. And he puts his own gun underneath his chin, and he just sits there for a minute.
Sparrow will shout, wait, at him.
He turns, and you see just, as he looks at you, bloodshot eyes of a man who's crying and, well, a lot of dirt and smoke in the eyes. And he looks right at you, right into your eyes, and then kind of scans past you. He heard you, but he doesn't see you. And he goes, and just like roars to the fucking roof as you hear the roof in the next door collapse. And he just and walks out of the room, just walking down. You hear two more gunshots from the normal pistols and one more boom from his gun as he finishes off one last person. And you are out. You are back. Now, I will not say that you gained, because we took the devil's bargain.
Yeah.
And you already warned somebody. But I will say that it hurt you to watch. It did not physically hurt you. You're not taking any harm like Ebony did.
Harm can also be mental. Like,
yeah, I would say Sparrow. Then I would say one maybe of just like you feel like depressed having just watched that. I would imagine it resonated probably pretty highly with Sparrow, and just seeing the damage done to people who may not have deserved it, really, after all. Maybe. I'm not sure what he was before this, but
Sparrow's also absolutely certain that she stopped him from killing himself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Timey-wimey shit, but I love it.
I love it. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
So, with the information that you've gathered, the name that you have now, I'll say you're probably pretty ready to go find where she is. And I am going to fill this clock because this was a taxing venture that you all took. You now know where to look for. Oh, drained. Yeah, that's good for your status. You all now know where to look for John Irons' wife. She is trapped in a soul bottle in the grips of some weird nobleman. Strange man.
I'll say the Terrence Wellington III. His bodyguard is Mr. Terse.
At least we have somebody who has connections to various noble people.
What'd you say, Kay?
I said at least we have someone who has connections to various noble people or whatever.
Grimalkin can probably get you pretty close to this guy.
Good.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. And Victor's gonna just wait until everyone borderline leaves for a moment, so he can say to under his breath, "Another noble I have to kill."
Another noble I have to kill. As you guys make your way out, walking down the stairs.
We don't kill him.
I waited for all you to leave so you don't hear it.
Gotcha. Sorry.
So I say it under my breath.
Who walks out first?
I think Ebony and Sparrow probably. I'm still supporting her, but also in need of.
You guys walk out kind of like holding each other, like helping each other walk. Like, oh, the spirit team is pretty wasted right now. Victor, you're last. So Kay, you walk out after them.
Yep, me and my ocelot.
Okay. As you walk out, you exit, and Kay, or rather, I'm sorry, Scarlet, you hear to your left. Well, there you are. And you look to your left, and you recognize him a little faster than you can react. Here comes your entanglement. It is happening right now. It is happening very quickly.
Uh-oh.
You look to your left, and you recognize an old acquaintance, I guess, of yours. Not one of your contacts, but an acquaintance who's running the same circles that you run, as in Killers for Hire. And you are shot in the stomach as he, boom, and he's holding a smoking gun. He goes walking a little further, and he points the gun to you and clicks, and he looks at it, and he starts booking it away and running away as he fails to assassinate you. But you are shot in the stomach for 3 harm, meaning that you need to go to a hospital, or you can resist it for 2 harm.
Can I resist?
Yeah, absolutely. Resist it.
All right.
Please do.
I would advise that.
Yeah, situation, yeah.
He's not the best assassin, but he did just try to kill you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's Shitty Joe.
That's Shitty Joe. That's Shitty Shot Joe.
Yeah, Shitty Shot Joe. Has to be point blank.
That is now canon. Shitty Shot Joe. I like it.
He
totally different name for him.
He named himself City Shot Joe.
Yeah, but they all changed it because he goes for the stomach, and it's like, Joe, people live from that. They just live for a while.
It just sucks.
Spot to do resist specifically.
Yeah, you click on the attribute itself, and then if you click on the attribute like Insight, Prowess, or Resolve.
Would you call this a prowess or resolve?
Up to you. How would you resist? I would say prowess maybe because it's physical, like fuck.
To get it more out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So in a last split second move, unless your resolve is higher. I would go with whatever's higher, I guess.
I'm gonna go with insight. Just maybe she saw it as she was coming.
I like it actually.
Yeah, a little bit like a reactionary thing.
You recognized who he was.
Yeah.
You know how he tends to fire, and you instead kind of like jumped up and to the left, and that's why it hit you in the stomach and not in the chest, like the sternum.
Yeah.
6.
Nice.
Huh. Well then,
you still take some harm.
I mean,
you have 2 harm, but you did it so you have 2 harm and you only accrued 1 stress because I don't think you can lower it past 1.
You can.
You can, and then you take no stress. Congratulations. So you knew how shitty Shot Joe shoots, and so you kind of jumped to the left, and it hits you in the stomach, or kind of in rips through your side a little bit. So it's still, you got shot, but it ain't bad. And his fucking gun jams because he's the worst. And he goes running off, and you just hear him cursing. He's like, fuck, shit. And he goes, fucking iron biters, fuck. And he said something about iron biters and runs.
I'll point in his direction and say, Ember, go.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, get the cat.
Mhm.
The cat sits there and licks its paws. You are not the boss of that cat. And it hisses at you. God, you suck. And I think we will end there. And we will come back to the aftermath of that next time. I'm sorry we ran a little late, guys. My apologies.
We did start late, to be fair.
You didn't start that late, but I just got real into describing those scenes. I love that shit. So that is our game for tonight. Thank you, lovely people, for joining us. You all get 5 XP. Just throw 5 XP on there. That was fun. I'll give Grimulkin 5 XP too. I know he had to go do stuff.
Oh, did I get 5 from last time? I don't know since I was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep everyone even.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's the whole reason I'm doing the thing with the XP.
Okay.
Keep everyone
That's
on the
fair.
same page.
That's fair.
So let's go around the room. Say who you are. Say where we can find you, and say something you liked, I guess, about what somebody else did. Let's go start with Kay.
Hey, I am Kay, also known as Undead Kay on the interwebs. You can find me at Twitter. Name is below on description. Oh goodness, one of my favorite things this session. I will say I like how Ebony straight up was just like, this is ghost stuff. This is my thing. I'm just gonna push it all out. And I mean, she was willing to, that devil's bargain is really what got me. It was like, okay, whatever. I'll totally, have feels for a guy that, was going to kill us earlier. That's fine.
No, is going to.
Is
Now
still
is.
planning.
Still
Absolutely wants to kill you.
Going to.
You shot him and burned him and dropped a building on him, so I think it's fair.
I think he took that personally.
I think he did.
It's fine.
So how Ebony just handled everything. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, she was ghost busting it.
Yeah, she was. Speaking of which, Crystal, tell us.
I am Crystal Fear. I loved everything about this one. This was fun. I think what I liked most was Sparrow finally getting to do some ghost stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
You threw a curveball at me, Kevin. I was like, do I have it make an effect? I love it. you tricked me. You put me on the spot, but it was good.
If only that had been the devil's bargain.
Yeah, I thought it was very cool as well. Speaking of which, Bison.
Hello, my name is Bisonic Kevin. You can find me on the Discord at Welcome to the Party, which have a great community, and I spend a lot of time responding to people. And you can also find me here on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock running the Rifts Blood, Dirt, and Chrome game, which has been going, I'd say, pretty well.
It's very good. It's very good.
And can be also found on our YouTube. Just look for Welcome Party RPG on YouTube as well. We put all our shows there.
And podcast form.
And in podcast form, yes. All right. Yeah. Man, I liked Victor getting a little deeper, and I did like CSI Victor.
That was very cool.
And I will always enjoy hissing at your ocelot. Okay.
Probably best friends by the end. It's fine.
So many good T-shirt quotes. I always enjoy hissing at your ocelot.
Yeah, that is a great T-shirt quote.
No, it's not.
You say that, but in Florida, this happens more often than you care to admit.
I hate Florida.
And arrested for hissing at ocelot one too many times.
Maybe.
DBM.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet. You can find me all over the place. You can see my creations on the DM's Guild for things like Artifacts of the Guild, Journey in the Feywild, and Jubilexian Slime Race because slimes want an adventure. And you can also, last week I released the playtest for Broomsticks and Wands on my itch.io account. So so you can check it out at deathbyMage.itch.io. It is a play test, but it is with the promise that you will get a finished product at the end. So yeah, you can check that out. If you want to know more about that, you could also check it on the Welcome to the Party YouTube, because we did do a playtest run of that, where there was. I'll just say this. Apparently there's a consistency of all the schools I ever run with that game just burning down into cinders. I don't know why.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
And a lot of fun to play.
That's all I have to say about that. And I want to say my favorite bit was, I really have to say, like, Ebony really just ghosting up the place tonight and just diving in head in with all the ghostiness.
Agreed. Well, I am Evan. I'm Evan Jennings64 at Twitter. I was your storyteller tonight. I play in the Blood, Dirt, and Chromes game for Rifts. Kevin already mentioned that. And I run my own game on my YouTube channel called Beyond EMH, where we play evil people. But I thought this was a really good one. You guys are good. I liked it. You guys get into it. I'm loving it. I was hearing, looks like 2 votes for Ebony. So Crystal, you can take 1 extra XP on top of the 5 that you get. So you get the max. And yeah, I think you guys all did awesome. I think my favorite moment was Sparrow saying, "Wait, I just didn't expect it. I didn't expect it." I love it.
Oh yeah, that bit was really good.
You surprised the shit out of me, DBM, when I told you earlier about what had happened to you in the game when you weren't here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here's what I want to do, and you wanted to interrogate the interrogators. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I wanted to pull like a whole like Black Widow moment where it was like in Avengers, where she's getting interrogated, but it's really her interrogating them and finding out what they know.
Yes, very good. I loved it. I thought that was really cool. And Scarlet, you need to get some vengeance now. You gotta go whoop some ass.
Yep.
All right. So, well, thank you guys for playing. I had a great time running this one, and I hope you guys had a good time playing it. And next time, I guess we did a job this time. I don't know. We're making this game our own, I guess. But as long as you guys are having a good time.
Structure?
Structure.
And yeah, so join us next time when we, I guess, go steal a ghost.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
So
and indulge a whole lot of ice.
Oh yeah. Next session, folks. Yeah, next session, folks. Just be prepared for a heck of a lot of indulgence on Vice. Hopefully, Sparrow doesn't rolls more than a 1.
All right, guys. Well then, it's late. I'm sorry. This one ran really late, but next time we'll finish on time. I swear. Everybody, have a good night. Did I miss anything? Did I forget to do anything at the end?
Maybe we should just mention you can find Throck at Throck Plays on his Friday night D&D game on Welcome to the Party that starts at 9 EST, and that's Dungeon Dark Days. They're finishing up Tomb of Annihilation, and probably no one will live. He runs Legend of the Five Rings on Saturday.
It's on Sunday.
That's right. He has 2 games on Sunday, and he also runs Shadowrun, which has been fun to watch with a great cast.
That has been fun to watch.
It's Emerald Knights and Neurospikes and Emerald Knights on Sunday night on Devil's Luck Gaming. Twitch.
It's twitch.tv/ it's twitch.tv/ Devil's Luck Gaming.
But yeah.
Very cool. And don't forget, we have a Patreon and a Discord, and we have sponsors, Tabletop Loot, Sir Nerdware and rootink.com. Check those out. They're awesome. And check out the Discord. It's a cool place. And yeah, so have a good night, guys. Take it easy. Death by Mage, would you like to take us out on a good note?
You.
Bye, everybody.
I would like to. Bye, everybody. I can't raid.
Great, okay.
Here. Goodbye.
All right,
Find
bye,
a fun
everybody.
channel to watch, everybody.
Find a nice channel to watch it tonight, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hold on, bye.